Live from the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut, we are witness to NE10 hockey action this afternoon on Valentine's Day, as this afternoon game 2 of a 2-game home set between the Southern New Hampshire University Penmen, 8-14-1 overall, 4-12-1 in the NE10, 14 points and 6th place against your post-University Eagles, 6-17-1, 5-11-1 in conference, 19 points, 5th in the NE10. A pleasant good afternoon. Happy Valentine's Day. I am Jeff Nelson. The coach Pete Whitney will join us in just a moment. For the Eagles, an all-around team effort yesterday led to a 3-1 victory over Southern New Hampshire University, thus moving the Eagles within 2 points of 4th place Franklin Pierce in the NE10 conference standings. Eagles got goals from Jacob Howell, 7th of the year. Owen Atkinson, who was credited to his 2nd of the year, 2 assists by Mateo Pekka, and an empty net goal late by the Eagles as well. 29 saves for Ben Kunin. Coach, as we bring you in this afternoon, really an all-around effort for the team as a whole. Now they come into the second game less than 24 hours later and need to match that performance if they want to get 3 big points and crawl their way into 4th place.
They do, and you can see the importance of this game with Southern New Hampshire with 6 new players in their lineup. Sure, coach is trying to inject some measure of intensity and a change of pace a little bit, right? So Post pretty much staying with their lineup except for the insertion of Scotty Swain. And it'd be nice to see him play. He's got quick feet. Based on if Southern New Hampshire's effort is like it was yesterday, Scott could do some business. But I'm suspecting we're going to see a very different Southern New Hampshire team than we saw last afternoon. Southern
New Hampshire coming off four losses in a row. Early timeout called by them yesterday in a 1-0 game. They felt it might be slipping away. If it wasn't for Sean Guerin in goal for Southern New Hampshire yesterday, it might have been over in the first period. But Southern New Hampshire able to hang on after that timeout. What do they need to do differently in this game to possibly steal a win from the Eagles?
Well, if I'm Southern New Hampshire, I want to try to stay more disciplined in an effort to get more power plays. Because at this point they were 1 for 6, and they just really snake bit on that 6th power play, which I'm sure they feel that. So I think you're going to see a different team come out with intensity. I think for them, the benefit of the game yesterday was when they actually were on the man advantage. 5-on-5, there was not a whole lot. They did a great job getting to the neutral zone, but Post's defense was so stifling that they really were not able to create a ton of really great opportunities 5-on-5. So for them, I think you stay disciplined. You hope to get some power plays and capitalize on those. And then if you can chip in with even 1 goal, even strength, make up the rest on the power play, you could be in pretty good shape. Post, again, conversely, as we always talk about, stay out of the box. Don't give a team that was rocking over 20, close to over 22%, I think, yesterday. Don't give them an opportunity to get the man advantage.
Eagles only 1 change in their lineup. That's Scotty Swain in and Hugh McGuigan out with injury, although it does not appear to be that serious at this moment. So hopefully Hugh will recover in time as the playoffs approach. Starting lineups brought to you by Post University, who wants you to ask yourself, are you a Post person? Post makes it personal with fast, flexible, and affordable programs that are designed to help you achieve your goals no matter where you are in your academic journey. Post offers online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. For more information on all of Post degree programs, to visit campus, take a tour, or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. For Southern New Hampshire in goal will be Colin Burke. He gets to start today, 4-6-1 overall, 2.86 goals against average, and a .916 save percentage for the junior out of Crofton, Maryland. His defensive combination is freshman Gavin Simon, 5'11", 180 out of Monticello, Minnesota, and Gabe Fisher, 5'11", 180 out of Granger, Indiana. The forwards left to right, Kurt Watson, senior, 5'11", 190 out of London, Ontario. Brendan Lynch, 5'10", 175 out of Nepean, Ontario. And Darby McCarthy, new to the lineup, 6'3", 205 out of Whitefish, Montana. The head coaches are Matt Osgood and Chris Moquin, both in their interim first season. For your Eagles, Ben Cunine back in the pipes. Who else would it be? The 5'10", 165-pound senior out of Pembroke Pine, Florida, is 6-12-1 this season, 2.36 goals against average, and a .927 save percentage. He has 5 shutouts and got his first win of the season yesterday while giving up a goal, something the Eagles can take a little pride in as well. Defensive combination is Tanner Glassford, the captain, 6'7", 225, out of Delano, Minnesota, and Matt Pacheco, 5'8", 175, sophomore out of Belchertown, Massachusetts. Scotty Swain will start on left wing, the sophomore out of Baltimore, Maryland, 5'8", 165. Joe Santoro, the 5'10", 190 senior out of Wolcott, Connecticut. And on right wing, AJ Gazzardi, 5'11", 180 out of Berlin, Connecticut. The head coach in season number 4 is Tim Richter, assistant coach Andy DeAngelis. Think Pink at the rink this afternoon. Eagles in their special Think Pink uniforms. An awesome crowd on hand for today. We'll get to all of those ceremonies coming up in a moment, but first, the playing of our national anthem. We're actually going to do the puck drop first. Okay, ceremonial puck drop first. All right, so Coleman Nee and Tanner Glassrud will meet for a ceremonial face-off with Director of Hockey Operations Larry Erickson and some of the great people from Seymour in the Think Pink at the Rink Day, some breast cancer survivors dropping the opening face-off here this afternoon in front of the Eagles bench. We will follow this with a moment of silence for those who we have lost to breast cancer.
For those that have lost and those that are battling for breast cancer. Thank you. At this time, I ask you to remove your arms and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Our national anthem on Think Pink at the Rink Day here on a Valentine's Day afternoon at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there, in particular Mrs. Whitney, who I had the pleasure of meeting earlier today, and to my wife at home, who's making a heart-shaped cake as we speak.
Very nice.
I might actually get some of that cake later on. Depends on how the rest of Valentine's Day goes. Either way, we thank you for joining us wherever you are on the Post University Sports Network around the world as we broadcast to you this NE10 conference game. Big game for the Eagles. Franklin Pierce lost last night 9-3. That gives the Eagles an opportunity, now only 2 points out of fourth place, to crawl into that position, which gets them a home game in the NE10 playoffs. Now still 2 games to go next weekend, but for the first time in a long time, the Eagles have an opportunity to crawl out of 5th and 6th place with a victory here this afternoon, which will be their 4th in 5 games. If they can get one, they've won 3 out of 4. Southern New Hampshire going left to right as you look at your screen and dial, the dark blue with gold. The Eagles in the pink and white today with the purple helmets going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. And again, we thank you for joining us wherever you are. Joe Santoro on the draw against Brendan Lynch. I thought Santoro played an excellent game yesterday. Let's see if he comes back with another one here today. Crowd filing in. Big day here at the arena. Puck is dropped and off we go. Lynch wins the faceoff. Puck rimmed around from far to near all the way over here on this side of the ice. McCarthy tried to play it, pinched it down into the corner. Watson there. Watson lost it. Eagles did a great job forechecking yesterday. They're doing it here again, but then lost the puck, turned it over, and the puck centered in front. Gazzardi the only one there, and he'll go high in the air, flipping a pass, looking for the flying Scotty Swain. Swain trying to chase it down, but good stick there by Gabe Fisher, who didn't play yesterday but is on the ice today. Eagles get the puck, try to center it in front. Instead, it goes all the way back into the defensive zone. Owen Rieger has it. He gets away from Kurt Watson, feeds a quick pass up ahead, looking for the stick of Kimball. Kimball tipped it ahead. Here's Murray closing in with a shot. Rebound. The puck lay there for a moment. And a couple of saves by Colin Burke as he couldn't find the original puck, and then it gets sent all the way down the ice. An early opportunity for Kimball and Murray, but Colin Burke makes a big save. At least one, might have gotten two in the first minute of play here. Good opportunity there, Coach.
Yeah, I think early on, we talked about this and talked to Coach Richter about this yesterday a little bit too after the game, is the importance first 5 to 10 minutes of the period to kind of set the tone. Each team trying to do that. Right now, Post having a little bit the better of that.
Murray tried to send it back to Rieger. Rieger doing a good job just holding the line for a moment. Finally, it squirts out, and Kennedy will play it back in his own line. Down falls Murray. Turnover at the blue line because he fell down. Played in by Coleman Nee, the captain. Nee wrapped up right here in front of us in the broadcast center. Murray there, four-man scrum. Finally, Kennedy comes away. Spins with it, feeds a nice little pass to Rieger. Rieger looking for somebody just to get it out. Instead, he'll dump it to center, which will force Southern New Hampshire to tag up. And change up, Here's Hope off the bench. Hope spins away from the oncoming check of Stone Devlin, who I thought played well for the Penn men yesterday. Then a long pass looking for Atkinson, too far, and they'll go all the way down the ice. Face off deep into the Eagle zone. Looks like it'll be to the right of Ben Cunene. Atkinson, Howell, and Pekka out there for the Eagles. I thought they were the Eagles' best line top to bottom yesterday. Particularly after McGuigan got hurt, they moved Atkinson down to that line, and that line played very well. Pekka 2 assists, Howell obviously a goal as well. Puck dump behind the net, good stick by O'Connell. Comes in front, but Pekka the only one there. 2 Penmen conversion, 3 Penmen standing on the same side of the ice. Eagles could get a breakout if they could get control. Instead, Howell will dump it all the way down, played by Burke. Puck rimmed around on the near side wall, looking to get out, goes high in the air, and it does. Back to the defense of James Hope. Hope. Long pass ahead to Atkinson. Atkinson got the center, tried to dump it in, didn't get it anywhere near the zone, and it's played right back up in neutral ice. Puck bouncing in the air. You have to wonder if the ice is a little choppy today. It's puck's bouncing. A couple players have gone flying in the early going. But still, no score here early. Nice little spinorama by Slingerland. Feeds a pass up to Thurston. Thurston looks ahead, tried to take a return pass too far. Norling gets it, though. Norling goes behind the net. Little chip pass up the wall, looking for McCowell, a little too far, and taken right back in by Slingerland. Slingerland dumped it in. Glassrud will play it. D to Pacheco. He gets a return pass behind his net as the Penmen change behind the play. Looks up for McCowell. McCowell with a little chip up here for Norling. Norling goes across the ice looking for a streaking Schweitzer. That's going to be icing, though, as that pass a little bit too far. Coach, we did break the mystery of Kyle Slingerland from Stittsville, Ontario, apparently right near Ottawa. So I wanted to...
we got that piece of geographical information.
Yeah, Google Maps is a wonderful thing.
It really is. Did you see how long it takes us to drive there? That's the next part.
It's probably about 8 hours, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Face-off won by the Penmen, closing in with a centering pass instead of a wrist shot. It bounces in the crease as Gavin Simon took that original sort of pass shot, looking more for the stick of Darby McCarthy. Couldn't find it. They ended up slipping it wide. Now a puck played up on the half wall right here again in front of us in the center. Glasser spins it back to Pacheco, I thought played well. Rimmed it around the boards looking for Schweitzer. Schweitzer couldn't get it out. Glasser there to help out. He used that 6'7" stick and frame to get it out. And puck brought in by McCarthy. McCarthy with a fancy move. Hold. Centers in front looking for a flying stick of Lynch. Lynch then recenters. Goes back to the point. for Dallaire. Dallaire takes a shot, bounces high and wide on a deflection. McCall in the corner. Lynch still fighting for it. Streaked away from Vickerman, but back to the point. Long shot off Vickerman, who was the best Southern New Hampshire player yesterday. He tried to recenter, but turned it over to Scotty Swain. Swain, the only change in the line, that makes a fancy move on his own around Dallaire, but then turned it over. And Vickerman plays at center, tried to dump it deep, didn't get it, just got it to the edge of the zone, where Santoro will give it back to Kennedy. Eagles get everybody on, gives to Rieger. Rieger tries to bring it out, long pass to a flying Gazzardi. Gazzardi had it roll off his stick, picked it up in the near side corner, looks to center, instead goes all the way around the net, back to Rieger. Rieger, long shot from the point, looking for a deflection, got it, but it didn't get on Burke. And the puck comes out the center. Broken stick in the middle of the ice, had a couple players avoiding and falling over it. Thus, puck sent into the Eagle zone. Past Santoro and back to the point. Long shot taken. Bouncing puck toward the net as Jackson Smith had to race center in front. And a big save for Ben Cunin, who makes his first big save of the period on a redirection by Dylan Phillips, the 5'10 sophomore out of Raleigh, North Carolina. And then James Hope unhappy as his stick was broken.
Yeah, that was actually a great play by Southern New Hampshire there, that pass out to Phillips in front. Just he wasn't able to elevate that. And Benny came out, took away the angle, but he wasn't able to elevate that. So I
think we're going 4-on-4, Coach. Sorry to interrupt.
I think we are. But they've tried that a few times. They're trying quickly to move the puck to the front of the net. 3 out of 4 times there was no one there, but this time there was someone there in a pretty good scoring position.
4:37 the time. James Hope for the Eagles, 2 for roughing, and Jeremy Lacroix, the freshman out of Marlborough, Massachusetts, 2 for roughing. So we'll play some 4-on-4 hockey here, something we didn't have at all yesterday early on. Devlin trying to use some speed, but a nice play by Murray just to throw him off at the half wall. Puck spins back to the point, kept in by Pacheco for a long shot that deflects. Over here for O'Connell. He'll take a long shot, deflected in front off the side of the net as Murray got a stick on it. Burke may have made the save as well, but deflected off the side of the net on a simple little shot by O'Connell. They'll play it at the red line, looks to get right back in the zone. Murray will spindle it in and go off on a line change. Nice setup there, simple shot, simple deflection. But Burke got a piece of it and then off the side of the net. Right back in the other way comes McCarthy. McCarthy zigzags, tries to take a shot, fanned on it, and a 2-man rush for the Eagles, maybe 3 if Kennedy can get in. Here's Pekka. Over the line, Pekka tried to make a move. Long shot by Kennedy, taken off the blocker of Burke into the corner. Picked up behind the net by Kaiser. Kaiser to McCarthy. Feeds a nice little chip pass to Thurston. Thurston closes it, makes a fancy move, closes in with a shot, and Cunin held the post and made a big save there as a nice move by Thurston got around Howell. He faked the pass, went in on a shot, but Ben held strong there to keep this at 0. 6 minutes into the first, 45 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4, still no score. Here's Scotty Swain with speed. A little bit too much one-on-one. He turned it over to Kaiser and then taken by Watson. Watson playing his 100th career game as a NCAA hockey player today. Congratulations on the century mark to him, the senior out of London, Ontario. Dumped it in, turned it over to Glassrud, and here's Pacheco. Pacheco, long pass up the ice, gets it onto the stick of Gazzardi, over the line with a shot taken, stopped by Burke in the left pad, as that was a 3-line pass, but nicely done. Here's Swain coming in on his own. He takes a shot, taken down, stopped by Burke again with the left pad, and then sent high out the center as the Penmen need a line change. But the Eagles come right back in. Pacheco, nice feed ahead over the line with McCall taking a shot. Rebound, they score! 6:39 the time, and the Eagles, just as the 4-on-4 expire, get a goal and take a 1-0 early lead. Great job there, Coach, for the Eagles, taking that early 1-0 lead, and it looks like that's going to be Pacheco's goal, his first of the season.
Yeah, that was just a really great example of what speed can do. Southern New Hampshire was back on their heels for a good minute plus. Post just attacking, even able to get a change in there, and difference maker.
Puck sent into the Penmen zone again. Again, we talked about the first 10 minutes and how important it was going to be, and the Eagles get a goal within those first 10 minutes and take a 1-0 lead. Now a long shot taken from the point, stopped by Burke, as Hope, who just came out of the penalty box on that 4-on-4. Now a long dump down the ice. This is going to be icing if O'Connell can win the race, and he does. So a face-off deep inside the Penn men's zone. Officially, Pacheco is first of the year from McCall at 6:39. That was 5-on-5, by the way, just as the 4-on-4 expired.
Right, and I don't know if they can keep it up for the whole game, obviously, but right now Post's feet are moving, they're jamming. They are clearly the faster team.
Murray wins that faceoff back to Rieger. Long shot from the point gets deflected into the netting in the near side crowd. The Eagles can keep forechecking like they did yesterday. Keep that up. That was a key to that game as well yesterday. But so far, so good. Again, we talked how important those first 10 minutes were.
Yeah, and again, they just can't Southern New Hampshire does not have any time and space, and that's a credit to Post.
Murray wins a second faceoff. One of the Eagles taken down. It looked like that was Atkinson in the slot. Puck brought back in over the line. Long shot taken that goes high and wide by Slingerland. Puck dumped behind the net. 4 players fighting for it. Now Rieger will come in to make it 5, but Thurston came away with it. Tried to center it in front, looking for the stick of Pompaselli, but taken out by the Eagles. McMains gets to the line, dumps it in. He'll chase after it. Takes a, call it a Southern New Hampshire bounce right on to Burke, who makes a glove save with 7:36 gone in period 1, 1-0 Eagles.
Yeah, right now the Eagles, their feet are moving, they're jamming, they're winning puck battles. Defensively, all 5 are getting back. Right now they're playing the game the right way.
Pekka, Atkinson, Howell on for the Eagles. Puck lost off the faceoff by Pekka, rimmed around. Eagles keep it in for a second, but then it's chopped out to center. Howell will try to send it right back in, looking for Atkinson. Instead goes to Glassrud, who finds Pekka, who will gladly chop it into Atkinson. Atkinson with a shot that rims off a stick and into the far side crowd this time. A good crowd on hand for Think Pink at the rink day, still filing in. If you're coming in, you haven't gotten here yet. By the way, we've got a women's game. It starts at 2:15 upstairs. A busy day on the Post University home ice and home basketball court. 2 hockey games here, 1 and 2:15, and then basketball 5 at 7 o'clock. So if you like sports, today's a day for you on the Post University scene. Recentered by Atkinson off a faceoff win. Howell fighting for it. Howell looking to go back to the point, looking for somebody. Instead dumps it down to Atkinson. Atkinson rims it around. Lynch gets there first. Watched by Pekka. Lynch spins away, tries the other way, but there was Atkinson, who keeps the puck in as Howell fights on the half wall. Eagles doing a great job forechecking once again. Very reminiscent to yesterday. Puck lays in the slot, taken by Atkinson, trying to chop at it. Howell will go fight for it. He'll turn around, hits Atkinson with his turnaround shot. Lynch pitches up the wall. Pacheco long shot swallowed whole by Colin Burke, and a save there and a needed line change for Southern New Hampshire.
Yeah, right now Post has Southern New Hampshire frustrated. They're just throwing pucks up the wall, just trying to move the puck instead of just take a breath, settle down, support it, look to make a solid play to get the puck out.
Face off to Burke's left. Santoro out there wins that draw clean. Eagles, Southern New Hampshire coming into the game was number 1 on the faceoffs, and they won the faceoff battle yesterday, but so far the Eagles dominant in the early going. Santoro won that draw. Puck sent out and then right back in, played up the middle. Backhand little sling by Hope. Turned over at center, but hard to control is the stick of Anthony Marchand. He'll dump it in, chase after it, but there's O'Connell first. O'Connell feeds it up the wall looking for Gazzardi. Gazzardi tried to keep it up the wall. Instead got pinned there. Puck pops out to the blue line, brought back in, and a big hit on the Scotty Swain by Marchand. Clean as well, as Swain had his head down. Eagles then take the puck, dump it down the ice. Burke has to make a save on the 135-foot shot as the Eagles are able to make a line change. Scotty Swain seems no worse for wear after taking that big hit by Marchand. Slingerland feeds a quick pass up to Thurston. Thurston with speed, 2-on-3 over the line, stops right past the blue line, looking for help though as everybody changed behind him. He finds Slingerland. Slingerland goes behind the net. Norling does a good job just to sort of stand in front of him, making him give up the puck. Not take a hit, but make him give up the puck and then turn it over as Norling goes up ahead. Now a 2-on-2. Schweitzer with McCall over the line. Schweitzer with a little one-on-one move. Tries to get around Gabe Fisher, pushes him into the corner. McCall there. He'll recenter. Slingerland fighting for it on the half wall. Puck back to Kennedy. He'll go D to Rieger. Rieger fakes a shot, holds a shot, takes a shot, and scores from the top of the far circle on a beautiful wrist shot by Owen Rieger. And at 9:51, the Eagles take a 2-0 lead on what will be Owen Rieger's 6th goal of the season. Now second on the team in goals on a nice setup there by the Eagles. And again, first 10 minutes, 2 goals, everything we talked about, Coach.
Yes, yeah, and then again, defensive zone, Southern New Hampshire just running around, not able to anticipate. So important. That's the difference you're seeing right now. If you're watching this at home, if you watch Post University, when the puck is in their defensive zone, they swarm the puck, they surround it, they attack it, they force the opponent to make a play, get a turnover, and go the other way. Southern New Hampshire is tentative right now, not attacking the puck carriers, not moving the spots where the puck may go to. You have to be able to anticipate that. So that's why you're seeing the success from Post.
Timeout Southern New Hampshire as well, Coach. So just like yesterday, they actually take the timeout 3 minutes ahead of time. Difference is it's 2-0 instead of 1-0 right now.
Yeah.
As they are.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out the intensity and to compete pretty quickly here if they want to counter what Post is bringing.
It's Rieger from Kennedy for sure. We'll see who got the second assist, whether that was sent back by the Penmen and Kennedy kept it in, or the Eagles were able to force it back and get a second assist. But it's right now Rieger's 6 from Kennedy at 9:51. Glassroom. I missed the second assist, so let's see if we can figure that one. Did you happen to catch who the second assist was for?
I did not.
Okay, well, right now it's Rieger from Kennedy, and Kennedy continues with his team lead in points. He's up to 14. Actually, he regains the lead in points with 14. Jacob Howell had 13 as well. So with his 11th assist, Kennedy now has the team lead in assists and the team lead in points with 14. 2-0 Eagles on goals by Rieger and Pacheco. And back the other way come the Eagles again. Southern New Hampshire used this timeout just like they did in the first period yesterday. Murray behind his own net. Spins away from the check of Lynch. Murray looking to center in front. Instead, he tries to wrap it around. Puck lays in the slot. Bouncing there. They can't get it out. Southern New Hampshire finally backhand chips it out. And now a two-man rush possibly for them over the line. Here's Watson. Watson watched by Pacheco. Nice stick check by Pacheco. Centered it in front, though, on a shot up on the goal line and a recenter there by McCarthy. Ben made the first save and then was able to watch the puck go wide on the second save. That looks like a hand pass, though, out at center. Give the second assist to Caden Schweitzer, Coach, his first career varsity point.
Nice. Yeah, right now, Post doing a great job in the defensive zone with support. Puck's dumped in. There's one Southern New Hampshire player there, 2 Post players. Hard to counteract that.
Face off deep inside the Penmen zone. So, again, just to get everybody on the page, it's going to be Rieger's 6 from Kennedy and Schweitzer, his first varsity point at 9:51. Congratulations to the freshman out of Elgin, Wisconsin, with his first varsity point. Now here come the Penmen 2-on-1 over the line. Here's Nee looking, takes the shot, ripped it wide. He had a man streaking to the net as well. Instead took the shot, and it went ripping wide. That man was Marchant, by the way. Here's Howell inside his own zone, chipped it up for Atkinson. Now Atkinson chasing after it, trying to beat Vickerman to the puck. He did. Pekka in there to help out. Now 4 men on the scrum. Pekka held right there to the wall, looking for a holding penalty. Not going to get it, and Gabe Fisher will be able to bring it out. Nee, the captain of the Penmen, stick checked right at the red line. He'll send a long pass to Slingerland across. He'll dump it in as everybody else changes behind him, and Howell will leave for O'Connell. Nice return pass to Howell. Good job to get the time and space, but then a bad turnover right at center. Brought back in for Rufa. Rufa gives to Thurston. Thurston overpowers, looking to center in front to Rufa. He did. It deflects just wide past Kunin, then rimmed all the way down the ice for what should be an icing. As back to touch up is, nope, they wave it off. It didn't get there. Wow. Thought that was a sure icing. Pompaselli thought it was too. Instead it gets in, and Penmen are now trying to get the puck out of the zone instead of having control. Kennedy, long shot from the point, swallowed whole by Burke. And there's one of those things, Coach, maybe on an effort play, Pompaselli just assumed that was icing. Instead, he just waited. Pekka chased him all the way down the ice. Turnover shot.
Yeah, you got to be, even if you think you're 100% sure, be next to the puck. Because, like you said, you never know.
Santoro on the draw. Gazzardi tried to fight after it. Santoro ends up losing the draw, and the puck pops up to center off Kennedy's body. And Rieger will play it. Rieger to Scotty Swain, makes a fancy little pass ahead to Gazzardi. Gazzardi avoids a oncoming train hit, tried to center in front to Santoro. Santoro plays it behind the net. Santoro looking to center, comes out the far side. Goes back to Rieger. He and Rieger have a miscommunication, and the puck rolls out to center. Santoro back to Gazzardi. chopped off a stick, sent on Ben Kaneen, and a big hit right in front of the post bench. But everybody know worse for wear with 7 minutes to go in the first period. 2-0 Eagles on goals by Pacheco and Rieger. Rieger just waits behind his net, and he'll patiently wait so. Gets it to Schweitzer. Schweitzer with some speed, gets to center, but turned it over to a stick check to Watson. Watson tried to feed a pass up the middle, stolen by Norling. Norling up on right wing, he's in over the line. He's got Schweitzer streaking with a centering pass in front. Backhand toward the net, one bang, two bang at it. And finally Burke makes a save on the second try. Made one on the first try too, but covers it up with 6:52 to go in the second. But again, the Eagles driving the net, getting some opportunities and looking good so far.
Yeah, again, right now the Eagles, their feet are moving. They're doing everything you need to do to be successful, and Southern New Hampshire just chasing at this point.
Eagles winners of 3 of 5 coming into today have crawled their way out of the basement in the NE10 standings and are now 2 points out of 4th place. If they can win today in a Franklin Pierce loss, who are in absolute free fall, the Eagles will be in 4th place with 2 games remaining. Long pass across the ice to Knee. Knee up on left wing, tried to take a shot. Pacheco did a good job to get his body in front of it. Instead, it was resent back down the ice by Marchand. Glassroot looking for an outlet pass. Instead, stolen at the blue line. Shot taken by Fisher right on. Kunin makes a save, and the puck sent all the way down, but not far enough for icing, so Fisher will have to play this one. As Eagles go for a line change, a missed pass, but enough of a deflection to avoid the icing, so Hope will play it behind his own net. Hope fanned on his pass, but Glassroot there to help. Glassroot then fans, manages to get it over on right wing, looking up ahead for Kimball. Kimball with speed on right wing, driving the net. Kimball in, shot, stopped by Burke. Looking for a penalty as well, didn't get one, but Kimball using his speed had an opportunity. Hope at the point, long shot, blocked in front. Rolled toward the goal, but not near Burke. Sent back to the point again. Hope. Back down to Murray. Murray spindles it in front for Kimball. Missed. O'Connell picks up. O'Connell centers it in front. I think he was trying to shoot it. Instead, it was more of a pass into the slot, but then stolen away and brought out by Kaiser. Kaiser gets to the red line, and the entire Penmen will go for a line change. Sands Slingerland, who stays on the forecheck. Now he'll go off on a line change. And with 5:30 to go in period 1, the Eagles play it behind their own net with James Hope. Howell streaking, couldn't get a pass from McMains, who had trouble controlling. Instead, Hope feeds a long pass to Howell. He'll chase it in. Howell has it pop up in the air. Pekka looking for it. Pekka down on a knee, had it momentarily, then finally brought out and taken away with Stone Devlin. Devlin to Lacroix. Leaves. Shot taken by Phillips. Block. Sent behind the net. Played up the wall. Pekka backhands it dangerously in the slot and turns it over, but right there was Pekka to get back into the play. Kennedy spins away from Lacroix, then nearly turns it over, should I say, as Lynch came in, but a nice backhand pass by Pekka got it to Howell and out of the zone. Eagles living a little dangerously here. Now we talk about the other thing is the final 5 minutes of the period. The Eagles gave up a goal in the final 5 minutes of the first period yesterday when it was 1-0. They don't want to kill any momentum here by giving up a goal in the final 5 here. Puck on the stick of Jacob Howell, who scored yesterday, opened the scoring rather. He'll dump it in, go off on a change. Gazzardi will chase in for the forecheck. He'll with the race too. By the way, on 2-2 Fotheringham, maybe my favorite name in the NE10, as 2-2 is a freshman out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. First time he's touched the puck today. He'll send it up the middle. And now out comes Watson. Kurt Watson comes up over here to Darby McCarthy. McCarthy gets stick checked by the 6'7 Glassroot, and back the other way comes Gazzardi, but then he'll turn it over. And then a penalty behind the play. Looks like Coleman Knee. The two captains collided, Glassroot and Knee. Looks like Knee's going to get 2 for interference at 15:59, and that'll send the Eagles to their first power play of the game. And those two captains were so nice at the beginning of the game, taking that opening face-off, and then one of them has to go and commit a penalty.
Well, that's just the way it goes.
Eagles 0 for 5 on the man advantage yesterday, 15 for 98. On the season, 15.3%, 5th in the NE10. The penalty kill for Southern New Hampshire now 5th, 78.3%, 83 for 106. So they climbed their way out of the cellar with their 0 for 5 yesterday. Rieger tried to take a return feed. Instead, it was chopped and sent all the way down the ice.
That's number 3, 2 minutes for interference. That's an Eagles power play.
Here's Kennedy inside his own zone, makes a fancy move up the center. 3-man rush for the Eagles, in over the line. Kennedy keeps going, makes a fancy move toward the net, turned it over, and then the puck sent all the way down the ice. Rieger tells Ben he's got it. Rieger goes behind the net. He's stick checked by Thurston all the way, but now Rieger puts the Jets on and off he goes. Rieger, center, over the line, keeps moving toward the net, sends a little wrist shot in. That's stopped by Burke with 1:18 remaining on the man advantage and 3:18 to go in the first period. The challenge for your broadcaster here today is, because the Eagles are wearing those lovely pink uniforms for Think Pink at the Rink, is I can't see the number on their arm.
No, you cannot.
Which really sometimes makes it a challenge for those of us who are colorblind, slightly colorblind. So if you hear me sort of stutter a little bit, it's because I'm not 1,000% sure who the number is at times. But
Jeff,
we'll get through it.
Jeff, you're better than me. I didn't realize they had numbers on their shoulders.
There we go. Shot taken from the point, blocked, and brought out the center. And an aggressive play by Stone Devlin trying to pick up the puck, and he does a good job to leave it for Lynch. Lynch, though, got stick checked by 3 Eagles. And McCall will pick it up behind his own net, spin away from the check of Devlin, and off he goes. McCall, with 50 seconds remaining on a man advantage, comes in over the line looking for Pekka. Couldn't connect on the pass. Instead, it was sent all the way down the ice. Eagles looked good on their power play yesterday, just weren't able to get any goals, and sometimes that we've talked about that a lot this season. They've looked good and then not able to get the goals, but they have a 2-0 lead here. Here's O'Connell. O'Connell fans on his pass, instead got it to Pekka. Pekka brought it in and then ripped all the way right down the ice. Bounces, takes a lacrosse-style bounce off the wall there, like a box lacrosse ball. Doesn't hit the netting, and the Eagles will come out again. McCall with speed again, right up the middle, and then poke checked away again for what seems like the 4th time. Rieger dumps it in this time, different style. Pekka will chase after it. Picked up by Kaiser. Kaiser tries to go the opposite way, but Rieger's there. Rieger, top of the far circle, sees it down in the corner. In front to Howe with a shot right on. Stopped by Burke. They try to kick it out, but Kennedy picks it up on the near side point. Kennedy gives to Howe. Gives it down to Pekka, goes back to Kennedy. Kennedy in a little bit of a triangle. Long shot deflected in front as Pekka got a stick on it, but Burke makes a save as the power play expires, and 1:54 remain in period 1, still 2-0 Eagles.
Yeah, right now the clock is in this period is post-friend, right? And 2 minutes there, no opportunities for Southern New Hampshire, just playing on the defensive side of things. Now they need to regroup, win a draw, see what they can do offensively the last minute and change here.
Face off to Burke's right with Swain on the draw. Swain tried to win it back, couldn't control it. Instead, it's ripped up the wall. McCarthy will get it out the center. Glassrud, long shot in from the red line, goes wide. Played on the far side by Rufa. Rufa will try to chip it out. The Eagles keep it in momentarily. Still fighting for it, and they still keep it in. Nice work there by McMains. Dumps it in. Up off the wall, and looks like that's going to be out of play. And that's what it is, out of play. Face off to Burke's left this time. Swain will take the draw again. 94 seconds to go in period number 1. Eagles lead 2-0. Swain gets it to McMains, who goes back to the point. Long shot by Pacheco again, but this time blocked in front. Picked up over here by McCarthy. McCarthy with speed coming in on right wing, gets around Glassrud, gets to the goal line, then backhands it around the boards. Looking for anybody. He finds Rufo, who takes a long shot high and wide. McCarthy comes back over. McCarthy keeps it in, spins away from McMains, who does a great job to stick check it off of him and send it out to center. Good work by Bradley McMains to get himself back into the play and stick check that puck off McCarthy. McCarthy will take the puck, spin it on a backhand, turn it over to Glassrud at the red line. Glassrud will go back into his own zone with a minute to go in period 1, 2-0 Eagles. Pacheco waits behind his own net, leaves for McCall. McCall then takes it back to Pacheco. Pacheco over here for Glassrud. Glassrud, long pass right up the middle onto the stick of Gazzardi. Gazzardi will chip it in. Looking for Bolak. Bolak gets a stick on it, trying to find the puck. Bolak fighting for it. Bolak chips it down the far side, and here's Coleman Knee out of the box and with the puck on his stick. Gets the center, stick check nicely by Gazzardi, and Bolak takes it away. Dumps it in. Gazzardi will chase with 25. Gazzardi takes a hit. In there as well is McCall, and out come the Penmen. They'll get to the red line, dump it in. Ben will play it with his stick. Leave instead. Nope, he'll play it himself up the wall. Thought he was going to leave it, instead he played it up the wall, and here's Pekka. Pekka with speed up at center. Carries it in over the line. Does a good job waiting for Atkinson. Looking for Howell in the middle of the slot. Gives it back to Pekka. Pekka back to Hope. Hope one-timer right on. Rebound has a second opportunity. Missed the corner as the horn expires. Pekka, beautiful setup. 2 opportunities for Hope. First one blocked, second one high and wide. And overall, an excellent period for the Eagles, who probably played 17 of those 20 minutes with their advantage. And they have a 2-0 lead after one, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back and look at the tape, you're the coaching staff, there's really not much if your posts are going to change. If you're Southern New Hampshire, they're kind of handcuffing themselves. Every puck, when they enter the zone, just about, they go way wide, so they're easy to defend as far as that goes. And when they get the opportunity where they're in between the dots, there's that hesitation of not shooting, trying to make the extra pass. And that just allows Post to compress their D, fill those passing and shooting lanes, and not give them anything. And then on the forecheck it's essentially been 1-on-2 in the favor of Post. Every time that puck is in that corner, there's 2 Post players on it and 1 Southern New Hampshire. So that's not the recipe for success. I'm sure they'll talk about that in the room, try to make those adjustments, and come out in a stronger way. To Post's credit, we've gone through 20 minutes where we haven't seen Southern New Hampshire have the ability to use that most important tool of theirs, which is their power play.
I'd add also, Coach, as well, we've seen a lot of these games over the course of the last couple of years where Eagles have won maybe on the Friday night, and we come back to the second game, and this game is no score or Southern New Hampshire would have a lead. They came out and got those 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, and they get to go to the intermission up 2.
Yeah, the important thing for Post is to continue what they're doing and hopefully get the next goal, because we've also seen the games where Post has gone up 2-0.
True.
And then all of a sudden that second period doesn't go their way. They maybe give up 1, and then the third period they sag a little bit and take a few penalties and things don't go well. So we certainly don't want to see that formula.
There's the first period complete. 2-0 Eagles. We'll have more from Coach on the other side of the second break, but 2-0 Eagles will come back with a look around a busy Post-University sports team, an incredibly busy home slate today, and baseball playing the number 1 team in the country down at the University of Tampa. We'll be back in 2 minutes with a look around the Post-University sports scene. You're listening and watching to Post-University Athletics on the Post-University Sports Network. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut in Shelton, Connecticut, where the Post-University Eagles have a 2-0 lead over the Southern New Hampshire University Penmen here on a Valentine's Day afternoon. We thank you for joining us wherever you are around the world here this afternoon. As we do in the first intermission of every Post-University home game, we go around the Post-University sports scene in an incredibly busy Post University sports scene today. Brought to you by Post University and its 17 NCAA Division II athletic programs. From its nationally ranked men's soccer team, who have made the NCAA playoffs 4 straight years, or the brand new women's flag football team slated to start in less than 3 weeks. Post offers a variety of sports in every season you can enjoy, whether a student, a parent, or a fan. For more information on Post University athletics, news, scores, and upcoming schedules for all your favorite teams, please go to posteagles.com. That's posteagles.com. Eagle fans, Valentine's Day is here, and hopefully you got that special someone something. I know I did. What better way to surprise that special someone in your life who loves the Eagles than with Post University branded items and clothing? How do you get them, you ask? Well, you go to posteagles.com, click on the Fans tab, then choose School Store on the left-hand side and shop till you drop for all the latest Eagle swag and apparel. Shop today and use the code LOVE25 to receive 25% off any order of $100 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's code LOVE25, LOVE25. It'll expire tomorrow, Sunday, February 15th. You can also visit the campus store in the Lever Student Center on campus. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. As a reminder, the home finale, regular season home finale for the men hockey team is Friday at 4 p.m. here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Coach and I will be live 3:45 with the pregame, 4 p.m. puck drop. Again, they'll play St. A's in the home finale a week from yesterday, Friday, the 19th rather. No, I was right the first time, the 20th, at 4 p.m. We talk busy. It's because it is busy, and the men are playing here as you are listening to us, but the women start in about 45 minutes up above me here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. They will play Game 2 of their 2-game series against Stonehill. Tough loss for them yesterday, 2-1 in overtime, as the Eagles led 1-0 early but couldn't hold on. As senior forward Madison Actel for Stonehill scored with 4:31 left in regulation time. And then she'd score the game-winning goal with 2:15 left in overtime to give Stonehill the overtime win. With the loss, the Eagles moved to 9-21-1 overall, 9-15-1 in the NEWHA. Stonehill moves to 14-15-2, 14-9-2 overall. But as I said, unfortunately, the Eagles fall there. They're going to have that rematch playing in about 45 minutes upstairs here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Hannah Saunders making 27 saves yesterday. Had the opportunity to talk to Coach Brandon Brown this afternoon before the game, or this morning, just given the time frame. Very optimistic about his team's performance, very happy with them. So get upstairs after this game, or if you're coming out to watch the women, they'll get ready in about 45 minutes upstairs here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Their regular season schedule is winding down as they had their senior day yesterday. They'll be at LIU to wrap up the regular season on Friday at 3 p.m. and then home for the home finale, 2:45 a week from today, 2:45 upstairs at the LIU. Baseball started their season yesterday with a loss at number 1 University of Tampa, 5-2 down in Tampa. Graduate shortstop Evan Cornwell had a 2-run single for the Eagles in the 5th inning to start their scoring, but the defending back-to-back national champions and the nation's number 1 team, now 6-0 on the season, grabbed a 3-0 lead early and held on for the 5-2 victory. They'll play Game 2 of their 3-game set in about 90 minutes down in Tampa. That game will start at 3 p.m., but the 6-0 University of Tampa Spartans hosting the 0-1 Eagles as they started off their baseball season yesterday. As for the remaining home portion of the busy schedule, basketball up at Drubner Center starts at 5 p.m. as the Lady Eagles will host Wilmington. That'll be at 5, and then the Men Eagles will start at 7, or shortly thereafter, the women's game. So 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. up at the Drubner Center for men's basketball and women's basketball, with the women playing first up in Waterbury. So busy afternoon. We'll wrap up the post-university sports team with women's flag football. We talk about it all the time. They're going to start in 2 weeks against Harcum College down in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and they'll also play Holy Family. The home opener for women's flag football up at Lemoyne Field, March 8th. That's a Sunday, 11 a.m. They'll play Wagner College in 2 separate flag football games, one at 11, one at 12:30. Those games will be on the Post-University Sports Network, brought to you by me. And if we have a partner, we'll have a partner. Still working through that on the schedule, but those games will be broadcast live on the Post-University Sports Network. That's your look around the Post-University sports scene for a Valentine's Day Saturday afternoon with the Eagles leading 2-0. We'll come back with the first period recap and coach's thoughts and get us ready for period number 2 here on the Post-University Sports Network. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching the Post-University Hockey on the Post-University Sports Network. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Eagles lead at 2-0. Jeff Nelson here, Coach Pete Whitney also here with me today. Just some updated scores from around the world because all we have is Olympic hockey right now. Some finals at Latvia 4, Germany 3. Finland all over Italy 11-0, so they ramped up the score there. Sweden beat Slovakia 5-3. And the U.S. will play Denmark in a little over 90 minutes this afternoon. Goals, well, we had 2 of them. First one by Matt Pacheco, his first of the year from Connor McCall. He found a rebound, slipped it by Burke at 6:39 to give the Eagles a quick 1-0 lead. And then a little over 3 minutes later, Owen Rieger took a ripped wrist shot from the top of the far circle, and he beat Colin Burke. Give the assist to Aiden Kennedy, and the first varsity point for Caden Schweitzer, the freshman of Elgin, Wisconsin, at 9:51 to give the Eagles a 2-0 lead. Shots on goal, dominant first period for the Eagles, 20-6 shots in the first period. Face-offs 11-9 for Southern New Hampshire, so they regained the face-off advantage as the period went on, but the Eagles out shooting Southern New Hampshire by 14, and that sort of tells the story, Coach. Other than the 0-for-1 on the power play, Eagles took no penalties and outshot them by 14 and lead 2-0.
Yeah, again, like we were saying, it's on Southern.
It's a broken record, right?
Yeah, it's on Southern New Hampshire to find a way to penetrate that defense. That you can't have one in the offensive zone. You can't have one of your players against 2 of your opponents. You're not going to win that battle. So you need closer support. You need to shoot pucks. Right now, they're a team that looks to be playing with not a lot of confidence. So the best way to get confidence back is to get opportunities. And when you get the opportunity, shoot the puck, get the puck through, really simplify your game, and then attack and crash the net.
I know we talked about this sort of offline yesterday, but Colin Burke was the NE10 goaltender of the year last year.
Yes.
And we don't watch them every game, so I can't give you the breakdown of what's changed, but his goals against isn't terrible, neither is the save percentage, but he's 4-6-1, not playing nearly as enough as Sean Guerin is, and his record sort of reflects not what he was last year.
Yeah, and you know, when you look at those kind of stats, you got to look at all that stuff with a grain of salt, because I've seen some really, really good teams over the years with goaltenders who are good goalies. Let's take it to the pro level. New York Rangers. Hunter Lundqvist was in his heyday. The Rangers didn't win anything just because he didn't have anything in front of him. He made a difference to give his team an opportunity, but at the end of the day, your team has to score goals for you as a goaltender in order for you to win the game.
They're making an announcement somebody's car is inappropriately parked. I was waiting for the line, your car is on fire. That's always my favorite line. Particularly baseball games when you see the car on fire in the parking lot. But to your point, Coach, yep, goaltenders can steal the show, and we see that with Ben Kunin this year, and he's been very consistent. That's not to say Colin hasn't. We just haven't watched him all year, but clearly, you know, he stole a lot of games for Southern New Hampshire last year, maybe just not as much this year.
Yeah, there's no question. And again, like I say, you know, before last night, the only games the Post had won were when Ben pitched a shutout. They broke that streak, which is great. But again, as well as your goaltender plays, you got to score goals for him.
Talked about it early. Eagles with a win today, move into fourth place. Obviously, Franklin Pierce will play later, but can get into fourth place with a victory. Eagles going left to right as you look at your screen and dial. They're in the white and pink today, so don't adjust your settings with the color. They are in white and pink, and the Penmen in their traditional dark blue and gold going right to left as you look at your screen and dial for the second period. Long shot taken from the point, nowhere near the net by Gavin Simon, and the puck pops free to center. Played over here by McCarthy. McCarthy chips it in for Lynch. Lynch is offsides, though. Well, I wasn't sure Lynch is the one offside. Somebody was offsides for the Penmen 25 seconds into the second period, and everybody will go off on a line change. And we'll drop that puck just outside the Eagle line.
Yeah, the game gets so interesting, right? Because you want to play with pace, but you can't play at 100 miles an hour all the time. You have to be able to adjust your pace, adjust your tempo to the situation that's in front of you.
Marchand sent it back to the point for a shot by Nee, who was playing on the far side, near side half wall, rather. He took a shot, stopped by Kunin. Puck dumped ahead with a nice pass to McMains. 2-on-1. Centering in front. They score! What a pretty play there as McMains feathered a pass on left wing right into the middle of the ice, and there was Connor Murray to backhand it home, and at 46 seconds, there's that next goal that the Eagles needed, and they take a 3-0 lead on Murray's second of the year.
Yeah, again, we see that, right? That pace, that tempo, they Post attacks with speed, but then if you watch the 2-on-1, they slow it down enough so they can complete the pass. No back checking, no additional defender. Puck's in the net.
And a beautiful pass by Bradley McMains, who feathered it right over the stick of the Penmen defender onto the stick of Murray, who chipped it not just at Burke, but chipped it high over his shoulder and into the top corner of the net. So beautiful all the way around, and the Eagles take a 3-0 lead. Long shot taken from the top of the circle, goes behind the net. Puck pops out of the zone. Eagles chase after it. That's going to be Mateo Pekka chasing after it. Forces a turnover. Pekka spins. Nice little drop pass. Closing in, looking for a pass with Atkinson. Instead it pops free over here. Schweitzer and Kennedy collide. Puck comes to the far side, back for a bad angle shot, actually. Thought he was going to go back behind the net, was Howell. Instead, he took a bad angle shot, stopped by Burke with 1:42 gone in the second period. 3-0 Eagles officially. Connor Murray, his second from Bradley McMains. And Aiden Kennedy, his second point of the game. Team leading 15th at 46 seconds. O'Connell off the Eagle face-off win by McCall. Gets pinned in the far side corner. Schweitzer does a good job to forecheck off the half wall. McCall comes back down to play it, and the puck comes all the way down the ice as Norling will chase after it. Norling gets away from Slingerland, passes it a little bit too far for Glasser, and they send it right back up the ice. This could be an icing. It says it's going to roll in on Burke. He'll glove it with Norling chasing after it. And that play, a little bit of a microcosm of the game, Coach. Both Norling and McCall were out racing the Southern New Hampshire Penmen D-men. to that puck. And if it was going to be an icing, the Eagles were going to win that race.
Yeah, right now the feet of the post Eagles are very light right now. Guys are moving, they're jamming.
That third goal, big, as you mentioned, Coach. I think that could be a tone setter, but plenty of hockey left, and we've seen crazier things. Lots of time left, actually. But 3-0 Eagles on a goal at 46 seconds by Connor Murray. Puck in the Penmen zone, deflected our way slightly. That's why they put the big net in front of us.
Yeah, which is nice. The other thing, too, you'll see post to create this tempo as you get deeper into the game. You also need to really manage the bench well and keep the shifts not necessarily short, but the length that they should be. Don't get stuck out there too long. That's when bad things happen. You can't catch, you can't back check.
What should that be, Coach? 30, 45 seconds? What are we talking about?
Yes, I mean, once we hit 30 seconds, as a player, you should be looking around.
Score!
Figuring out where you should be. Like, there's an example there. We're not back. Right, we allow that wide look, and it's an easy goal.
Marchand streaked up on left wing. He sent a centering pass across, and there was Zach Vickerman again for his 7th goal of the season. And Southern New Hampshire gets one back at 2:26 to make it 3-1. We talked about it yesterday, the danger factor of Zach Vickerman, the freshman out of Queensville, Ontario, and what a pain in the backside he's going to be for the next 3 years if he stays at Southern New Hampshire and in the NE10. Because he's that kind of a player. You can see that through the 2 games that we've watched. And he took a centering pass beautifully from dot to dot and slapped it by Ben Cunine to make it 3-1.
Yeah, and right there we saw just the opposite. We saw Southern New Hampshire attack, and again, as they're coming in post, not reading it, not picking up. It's really important to do that. Again, we always talk about playing a full 60 minutes. You got to do that. You got to get back to it here.
27 assists, number 4, time goal 2:36 seconds.
So, Vickerman, his second of the 2-game set. One yesterday and one today, his 7th of the season. Give Marchand the assist. Let's see if they added a second one officially. Give Ryan Kaiser the second assist as well. So officially it is Vickerman from Marchand and Kaiser at 226, excuse me. So now Southern New Hampshire's legs a little lighter as they come in. Devlin takes a shot blocked by O'Connell. Eagles would be wise to hold true here with 3:20 gone in the second. So they've exchanged goals. Eagles took a 3-0 lead. Now it's 3-1.
Yeah, certainly it's important. Like, you don't want to go into a defensive shell if you're post, but you want to be sure that you're not cheating the game and you're getting on the D side of the puck. That's what we saw with that goal from Southern New Hampshire. They didn't get enough guys back on the D side of the puck.
Puck chipped up, and here's the Eagles on a 2-man rush. Nice pass over here to Norling. Norling closes and gets taken down. Doesn't look like there's going to be a call, and Burke makes the save. Might have actually been a solid stick check there by Ryan Pompaselli, the senior out of Needham, Massachusetts.
Yeah, that was a nice play by him for sure, and good job by the official with a no call there. That was just a really nice defensive play.
So for Vickerman, his 7th of the year, third on the team rather in goals, and second on the team in points with his 14th. Shot taken by Rieger wide, looking for a deflection. McCall, Norling fighting for it. Norling comes to the far side of the ice looking for McCall. Now they're fighting for it in the corner. Eagles back to the forecheck. That's where they've been the stars today. Puck rimmed around all the way over here to Schweitzer. He's got space on the goal line. Centered it in front, but it went off a Penman stick. Popped high in the air and played by Slingerland out to center. Rieger gets it right back to McCall. He'll deflect it in. Eagles will go off on a line change. Most of them will. Schweitzer will stay in the forecheck. Puck rimmed around the Slingerland on the far side. He'll chip it up the wall over the netting. So that'll keep the puck, the face-off deep inside the Penmen zone with 4:08 gone in the second. 3-1 Eagles.
Yeah, you could see it. It's amazing, isn't it, right? Scoring a goal, the energy somehow that just brings to your team. Penmen are moving their feet now. Much quicker pace they're playing at as well.
Still have to play some catch-up. They trail by 2, but lots of time left. Still almost 36 minutes of ice time left here And the Eagles would be wise to keep up the pressure. But a face-off win by the Penmen were the one thing they were doing well prior to the goal. Eagles now laid a forecheck. Nice hit by Santoro. Nice aggressive, clean hit by Santoro. Puck popped free for Santoro in the slot. He chopped at it. Instead, it got deflected out to center. Kennedy pushing it in. Good job by McCarthy to force the puck into the Eagle zone. He leaves for Lynch. Long shot looking for a deflection. That goes wide. Picked up on the other side by 2-2 Fotheringham. He'll go back to the point to McCarthy. He'll fan on his shot the first time. Take a second shot that goes wide off a deflection. Kennedy will try to pick it up in the far side corner. Instead, Santoro's there. He'll chip it up the wall. Not out. Kept in by Kaiser. Kaiser sends it right back into the corner. Kennedy will pick it up, go across the ice looking for Rieger. They'll play catch behind the net, and finally Kennedy with a window up ahead to Gazzardi, but a diving play by Kaiser kept it off the stick of Gazzardi, and what would have been a two-man rush the other way. Back comes over the line McCarthy. McCarthy spins, looking for Knee. Knee taken off by Swain nicely, and here come the Eagles on a 3-on-2. Here's Scotty Swain up over the line, carries through, holds, waits, takes a shot toward the net, stopped by Burke. Good job by Swain to wait. Two players collided, so it became a 2-on-1. Swain kept going. Looked like he was going to dish. Instead, took a hard wrist shot from the top of the near circle. And Burke held tall with 5:11 gone in the second. 3-1 Eagles.
Yeah, what's great there, if you watch, if you're a younger player, watch how number 11 moved laterally as he was moving forward to change his angle of attack, which allowed him to get that puck through.
McMains picks up a loose puck off the faceoff, trying to avoid the linesman more than anything, and then he turned it over to Marchand. Marchand gives to Vickerman. Vickerman rims it around the board from far to near. Over there in the corner fighting for it is Pacheco along with two other Eagles. But Marchand down there fighting, as is Nick Dallaire. Puck comes free. McMains picks it up on the far side, and he's hit hard as he had his head down also. A couple of times, a couple of Eagles have had their heads down and gotten hit for it. As Southern New Hampshire trying to pick up the forechecking. It's one thing they didn't do a lot of yesterday. And then a turnover in front. Rebound shot. Ben makes two huge saves, and the puck deflects into the far side corner. There was a breakdown right there as the Eagles turned it over. And Southern New Hampshire had two really good opportunities. But Kunin has been what he's been all year. Makes two humongous saves to keep this 3-1. Pacheco spins away from Devlin, chips it up the wall of McMains, and a nice job by the Eagles to get it out with a nice pass up to center. It'll get dumped in as everybody changes behind the play, particularly as Kimball will go off as well. Howell on the ice. Atkinson and Pekka, and Atkinson runs into the referee who took him out. Back the other way comes Phillips. Phillips over the line, leaves, holds, wait, wrist shot low, looking for the corner, stopped by Kunin. As Southern New Hampshire has found their legs a little bit midway through the second period. 3-1 now, but 6:27 gone, and they've had some opportunities, including two big saves by Kunin down on the far end.
Yeah, now with Southern New Hampshire moving their feet, they look like the team that we thought we would have seen at the beginning of the period after last night's game.
Thurston on the draw against Howell, won by Howell, but it laid in the slot, in the circle for a moment before it was sent back in. So everybody will tag up. O'Connell will chase the puck to the near side. He'll avoid the hit of Pompicelli, send the puck out the center again, and Southern New Hampshire will tag up one more time. Eagles want to get back to the dumping, chasing forecheck, but right now Southern New Hampshire doing a better job, at least in the last couple of minutes, inside the Eagle zone. Thurston spins it back to the point, but the Eagles take the puck away and bring it out to center. Fancy move at the red line, dumps it in past Burke. Burke chips it into the corner, spin away move by Pekka. Pekka spins away from one defender, now two defenders, turns it over to Thurston, but the Eagles' forecheck is on. Pekka not afraid to put his body in there as he's one of the smaller players. And a big hit by Howell, one of the bigger hits the Eagles have laid on in this period as he hit Thurston, forcing Thurston to turn the puck over. Pekka comes over here. He'll lay another hit, and the puck goes out the center. Excuse me, that was Atkinson who laid that hit. Eagles will tag up and change as Kennedy dumps it in around the boards, turns it over to Schweitzer. Schweitzer comes in, tried to get it back in. There's going to be a Penmen penalty as he was slashed or hooked or whatever you want to call that. They're going to call hooking at 7:26 as Schweitzer made an aggressive move off a steal. He took it in the near side circle, cruised to the slot, was going to feed a backhand, but got hooked. And the Eagles, who have regained a touch of momentum, draw a power play at 7:26. It's going to be Kenny Thurston, the freshman out of Plymouth, Mass., 2 for hooking.
Yeah, and that was a really good play coming off the wall, getting two players involved, kind of freezing the defenders for Southern New Hampshire for a moment, forcing them to take a penalty.
Eagles 0 for 1 on the man advantage. They win the draw as Pekka picked it up. He goes back to the point. Murray comes all the way over here for O'Connell. O'Connell, center point to Norling. Back to Murray. Murray, wait, shoots right on. Nice left pad save by Burke, who got it, sort of just stuck to his pad. As he stuck out that flipper at the last second, they were going low far side rather. 12 seconds though. That's what happens when you win a face-off. Quick puck movement, you get a good shot.
Yeah.
Norling and Lynch on the draw. Won by Lynch this time, but Pekka's going to win the race to the puck, so the Eagles gain control. And a nice play there, back to the point to O'Connell. O'Connell to Murray. Murray sends it down to Norling. Norling back to Murray. A nice puck movement here. Norling shot right on, deflected wide. Excuse me, that was McCowell. Norling took the shot. McCowell tried to deflect it wide. McCowell behind the net. Pinned there on the wall momentarily by Frothingham. But Pekka comes up with the puck. Pekka right in the slot to Norling. Norling one-timer. Nice stop with the right pad this time by Burke. On a setup by O'Connell, and the puck sent all the way down the ice. Good puck, good quick puck movement gets you opportunities. And the Eagles had it there, but Burke makes a couple of big saves. Back the other way comes Howell. He's in over the line. Howell holds, waits, shoots, looking for a deflection more than anything, and it goes wide. Kennedy. Back to Atkinson. Rims it around to Howell. Howell, far side corner, goes back to Kennedy. Kennedy over here for Rieger. Rieger looking across, it ends up on the stick of Howell. Now a one-timer shot by Kennedy right on, blockered away. Howell plays it down low, looking for, gets it back actually, goes back to Kennedy on far point. Howell down low, in front, looking for a cross-crease pass as Rieger had pinched down. And a save made there as Santoro sent it across.
Southern New Hampshire doing a good job on the penalty kill, shrinking the house area, not really allowing any shooting lanes, forcing posts to try to move the puck, hold on to it, make a lateral play.
Santoro and Lynch on the draw, won by Santoro, back to Kennedy, over for Rieger with space, closing in, slap shot right on. As out to the top of the crease came Burke, looking for a deflection was Rieger as well by Atkinson, but a quick slap shot, and again, the Eagles moving the puck very quickly, which is setting up some opportunities. 8:59 into period two, still 3-1.
Yeah, and that's a nice play because a quick puck movement and a quick shot doesn't allow the defenders to get in place.
Lynch won that draw. Rieger couldn't keep it in as the Penmen tried to send it down, but he'll play it in the neutral zone with 20 seconds remaining on the Eagles' second power play. Eagles 0 for 1, looking like they're going to go 0 for 2 with 10 seconds now remaining on power play number 2. Here's Santoro. Back to Rieger. Rieger with speed. Over for Kennedy. Kennedy to Santoro. Santoro over the line. Makes a move around the defense, going with the power move. Instead, he'll go behind the net. Power play over. Shot from the point. Taken by Rieger. It laid there for a moment. And Burke jumped on top of it. Eagles 0 for 2 on the man advantage. But had some opportunities as a swath of officials walk from behind the goal. Caught me off guard there for a second. They're going upstairs, I gather, for the game. Murray and Thurston on the draw. Won by Murray. Back to the point to Hope. Hope chipped it in the air, though. Couldn't get much on it. McMains will play it on the far side. He'll send it toward the net, gloved by Burke. With an Eagle in front chopping at it. And Aiden Rufa, the 6'2 freshman out of Messina, New York, for the Penmen there as well. That was Connor Murray in front, who scored the last Eagle goal. Murray will be on the draw against Dylan Phillips to the right of Colin Burke, who's been good. Despite giving up the 3 goals, he's had a lot of shots against, but he's been good, particularly in the second period. Long shot from the point, deflected off the top of the post. That was almost an accidental tip. Yeah. Murray back to the point again. But the Eagles making the breaks where they need to. Shot toward the net again, deflected by McMains. That one goes wide as Burke got a break on the deflection off the post, and then a deflection that just goes wide, and the Penmen desperately trying to get it out. Phillips makes a nice chip pass to Devlin. 2-on-1 in the zone. Devlin looks across and had an opportunity as he got it on the stick of Lacroix, who fanned on his shot, instead sent it wide, but whiffed on the shot as he was cruising down the slot and had a lot of open net. Break for the Eagles there, so both teams get a break. One shot off the post, one shot fanned on. And we remain 3-1 with 9:30 to go in the second period. Bad pass up the middle, deflects off a leg, almost turned over inside the zone. Said Glassroot will take a 90-foot slap shot that goes wide. And Aiden Rufo will play behind his own net with Norling chasing after him. He'll backhand it up the wall, turn it over to Glassroot at center. He'll dump it right back in. Goes off a body, and that's a break for the Eagles as in comes Bolak. Now here's McCall with a shot that deflected wide as that puck laid right in the middle of the slot. Then a long shot from the point, nowhere near anybody. Bounces off the Zamboni door, trying to get it out to center, and finally does.
Yeah, there was a lot of net there.
Coming right back the other way is Lynch. Lynch comes in over the line. There's going to be a penalty on the Eagles now as Lynch was slashed at and hooked. And the Eagles will go shorthanded for the first time today. And you have to think at some point Southern New Hampshire is going to get a break. I know you earn your breaks in this sport, but there have been a lot of opportunities for them that just haven't, even the opportunities on the clear, bouncing off a leg right to a post player in the slot for an opportunity. But here's a power play for them, Coach, trailing by 2.
Yep, keep pointing the game right here.
McCall 2 for hooking at 11:06. Southern New Hampshire 18 for 80 on a man advantage, 22.5%. That's second in the NE10. They were 1 for 6 yesterday. Eagles are 81 for 96 on the penalty kill, 84.4%. That's second in the NE10. Trailing by 2, McCall in the box in their first power play of the game. Here's Devlin over the line, trying to go through 3 Eagles, turns it over, and they'll send it all the way down the ice. Too much one-player work there as the Eagles did a good job playing it, and then they turn it over at center. Here's Thurston coming in over the line, looking back to Vickerman. Vickerman goes across the slot. They got to keep their eyes on him as he had 3 or 4 10-bell opportunities yesterday, including the goal. Comes over here for Vickerman. Vickerman closes top of the near circle. He'll take a return feed. Here's a one-timer that deflects in front. I don't think that got to Ben. I think it went off the Southern New Hampshire's player's stick. Eagles trying to get it out, and here's Thurston. Thurston spins away. He's behind the net. Now comes over to the far side corner. They'll let him play in the circle now. He feeds it down low. Vickerman, who came down from the point, now has the puck. Now he's at the right point. He'll go across the ice looking for a return feed. Long-time shot right on as it was kind of fanned on, that shot by Kaiser, which led to a tip in front as it just kind of slowly went there. Dalton Phillips was standing in front, got a stick on it, and an opportunity with 7:48 to go in the second and 54 seconds on the man advantage.
Yeah, right now Post getting caught a little bit watching and not reading. When that puck is up top, someone's got to be in front to face, keep that player away from a rebound.
Rieger spins away from the check in the near side corner. Excuse me, that was Hope that spun away from the check in the near side corner. Rimmed around the Bolak. Bolak looking for the puck in its skates on the half wall. Now in the far side corner trying to rim it around. Here's Glassroot with time, space. Got it to the legs of the defender Rufa and not out. Rufa keeps it in. Long shot from the far circle. Blocked in front, sent all the way down the ice as Watson had an opportunity, but the Eagles stood in front of it, blocked the shot, and sent it all the way down with 25 remaining on the man advantage. Here's Watson. Watson looking across the ice for Fisher. Fisher picked it up, rimmed it around, dumped it in. First one in there is Lynch for Southern New Hampshire. Pekka on the ice fighting for it down on the far side corner. Puck chips free, still in that corner. Down goes O'Connell to find it. He'll ribbon around the wall looking for Watson. Watson had it stolen off a stick and sent all the way down the ice. Good penalty kill by the Eagles as it will expire, and the Penmen go 0 for 1. On the man advantage, 6:50 to go in the second period. 3-1 Eagles. Bad turnover by the Penmen inside their own zone, but it was able to be fixed because 2 Penmen were there. Here's Vickerman. Vickerman feeds a pass to Marchand in front and a shot stopped by Kunin as the Eagles lost track of Marchand, who came down all alone on a beautiful pass by Vickerman. He just couldn't get a lot on it, and Ben makes a big save with 6:39 to go in the second.
Yeah, that's where I think maybe those defenders should have changed on that rush. They've been out there a while killing and got caught a little bit.
Also think you got to, when you see Marchand and Vickerman out there, you got to mark them because those are the 2 offensive players right now. Long shot from the point, off the glove of Kunin into the far side, near side corner rather, and back come the Eagles the other way. 1-on-3 over the line. Nicely done by Swain. He's taken down. That should have been a penalty as he got grabbed as he tried to go through. Swain picked it up on the far side, now trying to pick it up on the near side. Puck comes free. Swain now forechecking down low with Gazzardi. 4-man scrum behind the net. Comes back to Rieger. Rieger with a shot. Deflected by Gazzardi. Nicely done.
Great play right there.
With a lob wedge deflection. Just couldn't get it into the goal. Just missed the corner. Gazzardi. Far side corner, tries to chip it to himself. Coleman knee down there, and the Eagles forechecking again. Swain trying to get around the defender in front of him to help forecheck. Finally, the puck comes free to the Penmen, and they turn it over. Just chipped it in the middle of the ice for some reason. Santoro ended up with it. He tried to feed a pass, lost it, and finally got chipped out to center, and the Eagles will have to tag up. Marchand gives to Knee. Knee with a long shot, stick to side by Kunin, and Rieger will play it behind his own net. 5:30 to go in the second, 3-1 Eagles. Long pass up to Santoro, who will just deflect it in. Excuse me, that was Murray who deflects it in. The Eagles will go in for forechecking. McMains had it spun off his stick, and back the other way comes Devlin. Devlin up on left wing. He's over the line with speed, takes a shot that gets deflected off a stick and goes wide, nowhere near Kunin. Chipped up the wall by the Penmen. Kaiser kept it in, sent it right back in. Eagles looking for an offsides. They're not going to get it, and then finally chipped out the center past the stick of Connor Murray, and then sent right back in by the Penmen. Hope chasing after it. Penmen have to tag up. They have. And now Thurston has it. Thurston sent it through the slot looking for a stick. Couldn't find anything. Kimball now on the forecheck off Kaiser. Thurston spins away from his check. Looking for Kaiser. Rolls down low to Phillips. Phillips turned it over. Hope in there. And finally, the Eagles with an opportunity to get it out to center as McMains chopped it there. Thurston returns it to Slingerland. He's coming in over the line with a shot that just misses the net wide. He was looking for a corner, then a return shot by Pompaselli got blocked in front and sent high in the air, and a jump ball, dangerous jump ball nonetheless, as Kaiser went high in the air looking for a slam dunk. Couldn't get it as he was trying to go over the shoulders of an Eagle player. Unfortunately, didn't land on top of him. Hope in his own zone, goes up the wall looking for Bolak. Bolak got it, but it went off his stick and sent right back in by the Penmen, who keep looking for a forecheck. Eagles have turned it over a couple of times just outside their line. McCall trying to chip it ahead. He finally gets it to Hope. Hope trying to chip it. Turnaround shot taken by Lynch as he found a loose puck in the slot, and now the Penmen are forechecking. Watson leaves it down for Rufa. Looks back for Watson. Couldn't control it. Goes back down into the corner. Lynch to Watson, right point, long shot, blocked in front, goes back to the far side corner where Lynch, and an Eagle lost a stick. Long shot by Lynch, blocked in front. Eagles will just be wise to ice it at this point, but instead they're able to get it out of the zone, dump it in, go for a change, and that's what they do. Now there's a lost stick in the far side corner of the Penmen zone, sent all the way down the ice. Kennedy will win the race as the Penmen tried to turn it up quickly. And with 3:28 to go in the second, still 3-1 and a face-off to the left of Colin Burke. Eagles held on in those 2 minutes, but there was that push by Southern New Hampshire.
Yeah, you're starting to see, too, again, the Eagles now are starting to stand around a little bit in the defensive zone. 5-on-5, when I'm the first guy and you have the puck, I have to go to you. There's no hesitation there. When you stand around, wave your stick, you just give time and space.
Watson rimmed it all the way around, played by McCarthy in front for Watson, who thought he was going off for a line change. Instead, he cruised right toward the net, and Phillips sent a pass his way and just off his leg. Here come the Eagles the other way. Pekka gets the center, chipped it in, but not deep, turned over, and then sent into the bench area by the Penmen off the stick of an Eagle. 3:04 to go in the second. And then there again, Southern New Hampshire's going to start taking more chances like that. Watson looked like he was going off on a line change and then went right to the net.
Sure. The other thing, too, I'd like to see is Post has kind of spread it out a little bit. I'd like to see better close support to the puck carrier on the attack to make that defender have to guess, who should I take, when should I step, can I not?
Nice job by Knee on that faceoff. He had to go underneath Santoro's legs to get the puck and then send it back to his defenseman, and they kicked it out the center. Here's Vickerman, that line right back out. Vickerman, Marchand, and Knee. Rieger throws Knee down, Knee on a knee. Has the puck sent to Vickerman for a one-timer at the top of the near circle, and he ripped a wrist shot just wide as he gripped it and ripped it. Now Knee comes out the near side, watched by a couple of Eagles. It goes back to the point. Long shot taken from the point by Simon that gets deflected wide. Hit by Marchand, goes back to Vickerman. Vickerman shot from the point, sticked away by Kunin into the near side corner. Simon has the puck, tries to get away from Santoro. Puck pops to Scotty Swain, and here comes Scotty Swain, who will carry it out and then make a pass to center. Gazzardi takes out his D-man. Santoro goes back, fanned on a pass to Rieger, taken back the other way, looks in front for a shot opportunity, stopped by Kunin as that was a turnover. Rieger then sends it off the glass angrily out to center. Eagles had control. Puck went to Rieger. He fanned on his pass, turned it over to Phillips, who had an opportunity with 1:58 remaining in the second. Ben will just hold it and slow it down.
Yep, wholesale change here by the Eagles. 1:58 left in the period. Just settle it down. Get back to what you've been doing well.
Important 2 minutes remaining in this period. Eagles don't want to get out anywhere less than up 2. Murray lost the draw to Southern New Hampshire. Closing in with a little stick move as he closed in was Kaiser, and then he goes flying. Glassrud pins his man to the wall. That's Lacroix. 4-man forecheck behind the net. Down low is Glassrud just trying to find it. Ends up on Murray's stick as they're wrestling in the corner. Lacroix is going to lose that fight to a 6'7" player, and then the puck chipped into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, the other piece, too, is if you want to stay here and wrestle instead of play the puck, that's fine.
Not sure who was more irritated, Rufa or Lacroix, but they want to tell you to take on the 6'7" Glassrud. I'm not sure that's a battle they're going to win in the height difference category. Face off to Ben's left, shot by Slingerland, blocked as he couldn't get all of it. Hope tries to rim it right up the middle. Instead, he turned it over to Kaiser. Kaiser will turn around with a shot right on. Eagles playing sloppy hockey right now, just trying to get it out of the zone. O'Connell checked off by Thurston. Hope down there to help out. He pinches it, but Slingerland has it in the far side corner. Slingerland looks for Thurston. Murray will pin him there. O'Connell there to help out. Hope tries to pick it up. Hope comes out the near side, up in the corner, looks off the wall, still can't get it out. Good job to keep it in. Shot taken from the point, blocked. Closing in is Pompaselli with a shot stopped by Kunin through a screen of 3. That's a big save by Ben as Southern New Hampshire controlled that puck for the last 54 seconds or so. As we're down to a minute 1 remaining in the second period and starting to get a little chippy out there as well.
Yeah, right now, again, Post in the defensive zone, they're not supporting. And there's too much watching instead of attacking.
61 seconds remain in the second period. Face off to Ben's right. Lynch and Murray on the draw. Dies in the circle, goes back to the point. Passes down low, now across for a one-timer that's blocked by Watson's one-timer was blocked rather. Simon on right point sends it down to Lynch. Lynch looking for Watson, now a 4-man forecheck behind the net, goes back to the point to Simon. Simon on right point, looks for a chip down to Lynch. Eagles get their sticks on it, chop it off Lynch's stick, but played in by McCarthy. Kennedy chases after it. McKennedy tried to rim it around the near side. It got blocked. Now to the far side, and finally Eagles come out with it. Watson returns it quickly to Lynch up on left wing. He's in over the Eagle line. Goes back to Watson. Good back check by Schweitzer. Eagles again try to get it out, deflected and blocked, and they can't get it out as Fisher closed in. Lynch keeps it in. Lynch looks for a shot toward the net, goes wide. Rieger with time in 15 seconds just goes right down the middle, seeing if he can play a perfect wedge. And no, that's the break. That's a huge play by Owen Rieger. Lynch brings it the other way, turns it over, but there's no time left on the clock, and that's how the second period will end. A beautiful curling job, I think, by Owen Rieger there. That would have made most curling professionals very proud as he got that right on the button.
No broom needed.
No broom needed, right to the red line. That killed 8 seconds of the remaining 16. Gave the Eagles a break and an opportunity, and they're going to get out of this period 3-1, but a big push by Southern New Hampshire, particularly in the last 5 minutes, but really since they scored that goal at 2:26, they outplayed the Eagles most of that second period, and now we've got 20 minutes left.
Yeah, not unexpected. And the other thing the Post did well in that period is they killed off that power play. That was key for them to be able to do that at that juncture of the game. So now you've got, again, you go back to the world of cliches, you got to win the third.
We've said that before, so that's not a new cliche, Coach. But, yes, that's where we are. After 2 periods of play, the Eagles have a 3-1 lead, each team with the goal. Eagles took a 3-0 lead on the Connor Murray goal 46 seconds in. And then Zach Vickerman, who's the only man who scored for Southern New Hampshire all weekend with his 7th goal of the season, second in 2 days. That's where we stand. We'll come back with our second period intermission, and that's a look around the NE10. We'll get you updated on all the games last night and the game coming up today and the updated standings as well. And see if we can get you an update on the women's game, which I believe has started upstairs, or just have started upstairs this afternoon. You're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Eagles lead 3-1. Each team with a goal in the second period. Connor Murray for the Eagles and Zach Vickerman for Southern New Hampshire. As we do in the second period intermission, we go around the NE10, and that's going to be brought to you by Post University, celebrating a quarter century of being ranked as one of the top online colleges by Newsweek. Are you a Post person? Have you asked yourself that question? Are you a Post person? You could be. Reach out today to see what Post can offer you. Online, hybrid, or on-campus degree options await. For more information on all of Post degree programs, to visit campus, take a tour, or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Do it today. Eagle fans, have you done your shopping yet? I know Valentine's Day is over. I know my wife's birthday is coming up. So you got to get her that special something. And what better to get than Eagle gear and apparel? Well, how do you do that, you ask? Where do you get those items? You go to posteagles.com, click on the fans tab, then click on the school store on the left-hand side, and shop till you drop for all the latest Eagle swag and apparel. Shop today and use the code LOVE25, that's LOVE 25, to receive 25% off any order of $100 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's code LOVE, LOVE 25. It will expire tomorrow, Sunday, February 15th. You also can visit the Lever Student Center on campus, which is where the campus store is. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I know I'll be shopping there, getting my wife something lovely from the Post University team store. So you do it today. Get your Post University gear. A lot of Post University gear on hand today for Think Pink at the Rink Day here on Valentine's Day afternoon. So, NE10. Exciting time within the NE10 as teams are winning, teams are losing, standings are changing, teams are moving up, teams are moving down. Let's get into everything that occurred last night, and we'll start. Obviously, the Eagles won 3-1 yesterday, but Franklin Pierce fell 9-3 to St. Mike's up in Vermont. A game that was 5-3 at one point, but totally dominated by St. Michael's as the game went on. They scored 2 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third, to take a 9-3 victory over Franklin Pierce. Those two teams will rematch at 4 o'clock today. Those two teams will start at 3 o'clock today, not 4 o'clock, up in South Burlington, Vermont. Eagles 2 points behind Franklin Pierce coming into today's action. If the Eagles win and Franklin Pierce loses in regulation, the Eagles will be in 4th place, which means, should that remain with 2 games to go next weekend, the Eagles could host a home game the following week. St. A's fell 4-0 to Assumption yesterday up in Worcester. Those two teams will play again at 7:20 tonight up in Worcester. Then the regular season rounds out with St. A's playing here on Friday, 4 p.m. puck drop against the Eagles here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. So hopefully you can join us. If you can't be here, be online on the Post University Sports Network. Franklin Pierce will travel to Assumption, who's in first place. That'll be a 7:30 game on Friday up in Massachusetts. And St. Mike's will be at Southern New Hampshire for a 7:40 game up in New Hampshire. Everybody will play everybody again on Saturday, a week from today, except the Eagles will be at Southern New Hampshire, not here. So the regular season home finale is Friday, 4 p.m. And the regular season road finale will be a week from today at 4 p.m. up in New Hampshire. Standings in the NE10 are as follows. Assumption 39 points. They have salted away the NE10 regular season title with their win yesterday. 13-2-2 overall, 19-7-2 overall. They now have an 11-point lead over St. A's and St. Mike's, so they can't be caught. They are the regular season champions. Congratulations to Assumption. St. A's in second, Let's try that again. St. A's in second, 9-6-2, 10-12-4 overall. St. Mike's also with 28 points, 9-6-2, 14-10-3 rather, overall. Franklin Pierce, 21 points, 7-10-0 in conference, 9-17-0 overall in total free fall, 2-11 since the beginning of the winter season for the Ravens of Franklin Pierce. Post 19 points, 5-11-1 in conference, 0-3 in overtime, 6-17-1 overall. So they have 19 points right now, as you mentioned, 2 points behind Franklin Pierce. And Southern New Hampshire rounds it out 4-12-1 overall, 4-12-1 in the conference, 8-14-1 overall. So with an Eagle win today, Southern New Hampshire will be, if the Eagles can win today, Southern New Hampshire will be the 6th seed. The Eagles can move up to the 4 seed. They're not going to be able to get up to, I mean, miracles could happen, but they could get themselves up to the 3 seed if St. A's were to lose today and the Eagles win all 3 remaining games. That would get them up to the 3 seed, but not sure that's going to happen. But logistically and realistically, it's possible. Logistically, it's possible. Realistically, probably not as possible as the season winds down. But Eagles need to take care of their own business and let everything else work their way around them. They have an opportunity, when this game ends today, to be in 4th, should they win prior to the Franklin Pierce game this afternoon. That's where we are. Through 2 periods here, 3-1 Eagles. That's our second period intermission. Our look around the NE10 conference for a Saturday afternoon of Valentine's Day. Saturday afternoon. Hope you're with your Valentine wherever it is you're listening to us this afternoon. We'll be back in 2 minutes with recap of the second period and coach's thoughts and get you ready for the third period. That'll come up in 2 minutes. You're listening and watching to Post University Hockey on the Post University Sports Network. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Jeff Nelson, the coach, Pete Whitney here with you as we recap the second period. And, well, Eagles jumped up to a 3-0 lead real quick as Connor Murray took a beautiful centering pass on a 2-on-1 scramble by Bradley McMains. He fed a beautiful pass over his stick and right on the ice to Murray, who chipped it nicely over the shoulder of Colin Burke to make it 3-0, give Aiden Kennedy his second assist of the game as well at 46 seconds. But the Penmen, who you thought might go away, you just don't at this level, and back they came. And what started out as a simple play inside in the Penmen zone led to a 2-on-1 break up the wing for Anthony Marchand, and fed a feathery pass from dot to dot over to Zach Vickerman for another beautiful one-timer for his 7th goal of the season at 2:26. Marchand's 3rd assist of the season. Add an assist to Ryan Kaiser, his 14th point of the season. That was at 2:26. For the most part then, Southern New Hampshire had the better of the play over those last 17 minutes, but the score remains 3-1 as Ben Kunin made some beautiful saves. Shots on goal in the second period, 18 for Southern New Hampshire, 2-period total 24. Eagles with 13, 2-period total of 33. Face-offs evening up. 14-13 in the second for the Eagles. That's 24-23 overall for Southern New Hampshire. Connor McCall, 6 out of 7 in the face-off draw. Just an update from upstairs before we get coach's thoughts. Stonehill leads the Lady Eagle hockey team 1-0 upstairs here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Coach, what's the message in the locker room here for the Eagles? Again, we've talked multiple times, and you keep just saying that these games are played in segments. Eagles did what they needed to do first 10 minutes of the game, first 5 minutes of the second period. They got first minute of the second period, they get a goal. Then they chased it a little bit, and now it's 3-1. Southern New Hampshire, a little bit of momentum. I think these first 5 minutes probably pretty big.
They're very important. For the Eagles, it's getting back to the basics in the defensive zone. You have to take away time and space. F1 goes first, attacks. Then he reads it. F2 reads it. I should say, where is it dangerous? Where's the puck going to go? Take away that time and space. Break the puck out. Coming to the neutral zone, you need the support with the puck carrier, with that second player in close support to force that defender to make a choice, make a decision, or at least think about what they need to do. Think about his hesitation. Think about that hesitation creates time and space for you to work in. Second thing, on the attack, unless it's 100% super clear, don't be making plays in front of the dots. Get the puck beyond the D into the corners. Use your forecheck that's been successful for you the last game and, the last 5 out of 6 periods so far, and continue with that into the third period. Make Southern New Hampshire go 200 feet all the time. And, again, no needless penalties. 1 for 7 on the power play, Southern New Hampshire is. You can't let a team with 22% on the power play keep going to the well.
Teams take the ice for the start of the third period. A big 20 minutes for the Eagles. Again, an opportunity to get themselves in fourth place. And what does fourth place mean? An opportunity to host a home game. And we know there are 2 games left. Regular season home finale is Friday, 3:45 pregame, 4 p.m. puck drop here on the Post University Sports Network. Around the world we are. The regular season finale will be at St. A's at 4 p.m. a week from today. Penmen in the road, blue and yellow going left to right. As you look at your screen and dial, the Eagles in white and pink for Think Pink at the rink day, going right to left. As you look at your screen and dial, we thank you for joining us wherever you are around the world on the Post University Sports Network. Southern New Hampshire chips it in. Glassroot had the puck stuck on a water spot, couldn't pinch it forward, and then kept it the point. Santoro couldn't get it out. Then a long shot taken in front, deflected away. McCarthy then recenters, but nobody there, and the puck goes out the center. Gazzardi, Swain, and Santoro, the Eagle line out there. Glassroot looking for the puck. It goes off the Zamboni door. Plays to Pacheco as the defense changes behind the play, and here's Gazzardi. Gazzardi gets to the red line again, couldn't control the puck. It dumps it around the board. Swain will chase after it. Swain being checked off by Kaiser. Gets it back to Kennedy. Long shot from the point, deflected by Santoro. Slowed it down more than anything, but forced Burke to make a save 39 seconds into the third. And a face-off deep inside the Penmen zone.
Yep, a good start for Post, getting their feet moving, good support, puck gets deep, they get a puck to the net. That's what you need to do.
Murray and Knee on the draw. Clean win, shot by Kimball, gets blocked in front. That was a clean win by Murray. Kimball tried to rip a shot, it goes off a leg. Murray takes it behind the net, goes to the far side, and then there's going to be a net off the mooring issue.
The face-off,
I believe,
come
or is
outside,
there
I
something
think.
else? Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Face-off will come outside. I think Post knocked it off.
That official looked like he had something important to do and really just stuck his hand up in the air. So I thought he was calling something there. Okay. Face-off outside the Penmen line. 49 seconds into the third. Still 3-1. Face-off won by the Eagles again. Rieger will send it in. Eagles will go in forechecking. Here's Vickerman. Vickerman tries to carry it out. Instead, he goes high in the air looking for a cross pass. Probably would have been better to carry it out. Instead, turns it over in center. McMain's tagged up. Murray, point, shot, gloved by Burke. Simple little wrist shot by Murray from 45 feet out, but nobody in front. And easy save for Burke, but slows the game down a little bit with 1:09 now gone and the third face-off already in the first 69 seconds.
Yeah, and now like if you're Post, as far as being defensively responsible and being patient with your opportunities, you break the game down into 4 or 5 minute segments.
Lacroix tried to find a puck at center. Instead, Hope did a good job to get it back to his D partner. And puck chipped ahead off the leg of Atkinson, rolls in on Burke, and there's face-off number 4. Maybe they're trying to break that 100 face-off record that he had last year.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's still good because you're not allowing any transition on the part of Southern New Hampshire at this point. So just keep winning draws.
Pekka won that one, but then the Penmen stepped up and took it away, and Pompicelli feeds Thurston. Thurston over the line with a shot that gets blocked in front, then rolls behind that. Thurston picked it up on the near side, looking for Pompicelli, but O'Connell stepped in the way. Hope behind that tries to grab it. He takes a hit from Slingerland, but gets it up to Atkinson. Atkinson tried to roll it out. Howell in there, goes back to Hope. Hope waits, pinches, chips it up the wall. Nice play out by Howell to Atkinson. Atkinson, 1-on-2 over the line, now 1-on-4 as everybody changed behind him. Tried to feed a heavy pass to, who was that, Norling. I just saw a 3, wasn't sure if it was a 1 or a 2. And then a penalty, I believe, on Southern New Hampshire. I didn't see that one, but it looks like a penalty upcoming at 2:05, and the Eagles will go to their third power play.
I think you call it 2 for roughing from what I heard.
That looked like roughing, or at least the symbol looked like roughing, but I didn't see it, so couldn't tell you what it was. But it's Aiden Rufa, the freshman out of Messina, New York, 2 for roughing at 2:05, and the Eagles go to their third power play of the game. The last Eagle power play looked better, just didn't get any goals out of it. Kaiser tried to sweep it all the way around. McCall does a good job to play it. Pekka pinching in. Now O'Connell pinching in, trying to send it back into the scrum that's between McCall and Kaiser. Then a shot taken that goes wide. O'Connell picked it up on the far side, goes back behind the net to McCall. O'Connell will take a return feed, and they'll play catch. Comes right out, goes across the slot, but nobody there, so Norling will grab it on the near side point. Eagles now have it, slow it down. Murray, long shot, looking for a deflection. He got it, stopped by Burke. Puck chipped away from Murray to the far side of the ice. O'Connell over there. Good job to keep it in off the leg. That had to have gone out of the zone, though. And the referee didn't whistle for the offsides, and then finally went back out to center. So a quick break for the Eagles as the puck sent down the ice, and Rieger and Kennedy now on as the defenseman with Santoro, Swain, and Howell. Kennedy leaves for Rieger, who gives to Swain. Swain had it roll off his stick, tried to chop it in. Down goes Devlin, but Santoro took it away. Santoro over the line to Swain. Swain closing in, holds, waits to go with a behind-the-back pass looking for Kennedy, but turned it over. Quick chip out the center. Nice stick by Rieger to keep the Lynch opportunity from getting any further down the ice. Now Santoro pushed it all the way into the Penmen zone and then stole it away from Lynch. Looking for Howell. Gives it to Simon. Simon for the Penmen, reversing the flow. Forechecking is Santoro down there. Puck up the wall. Lynch trying to get it. Good forecheck by the Eagles to keep it in. Here's Rieger. Rieger to Kennedy over here on left point with time and space. Closing in, looking for the corner. Blockered away. Then a rebound shot toward the net. Stopped in front by Burke, and then looking for a pass in the slot is Swain, but instead back to Rieger. Rieger over here for Kennedy. Kennedy holds, waits, shot toward the net, deflected right on. Rebound toward the net again, missed it. In the slot, heavy slap shot by Swain, and I'm not sure where it went. I think that deflected off the netting, did it not?
Yeah.
But Swain looking to the sky with 4 seconds remaining on the man. That was put on a tee for 20 feet out.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
And he slapped it. It looked like it got deflected into the netting. Lost sight as he slapped it away, but then it ended up right back to his stick.
They got to keep their eye on the box. 4 seconds left.
Kaiser will rim it all the way around and down, so power play expired. Not a bad-looking power play, but again, no goals. Still 3-1 Eagles with 4 minutes gone here in the third. 4-5-man forecheck. Now deep inside the Eagles zone. Glassrud, one of them in there. Pacheco watching as well. I think that's Baxter Kimball, the third one. That's where I can only see the number on the arm. Here's Thurston. He comes away with it on the far side of the ice. Nice hit leveled on Fotheringham. He turned the puck over. And now Howell will go high in the air.
Yeah, that was a really good play by Post to read the takeover that Southern New Hampshire was trying to create.
Here's McCall, and he scores! Connor McCall took a pass, cruised right in the slot, and ripped the wrist shot by Burke at 4:48, and the Eagles lead 4-1.
So little things, right? Really good forecheck there. Southern New Hampshire got it. They put it up the wall. Post defender read the takeover, was able to intercept the pass, move the puck out. Goal for Post, a much-needed goal. I don't think the scoring's done in this period yet, either way, quite honestly. So I think that's an important goal.
Yeah, and let's get the right player. Again, the numbers are a little harder to see than you like. That's Bradley McMains, actually, Coach, and that's his third goal of the year. He's the goal scorer.
The 19th skater.
Third goal of the year. Now a delayed penalty on the Eagles, and at 5 minutes, the Eagles are going to go shorthanded. But they get a goal to make it 4-1. I'm also slightly thrown off by the fact that Baxter Kimball is wearing a jersey that says Howell on the back. That's sort of what threw me off before the play. Is he's, for some reason, his number 19 says Howell.
So we got through our first 5 minutes, Jeff. Now we're into our second 5 minutes.
And here's a power play for the Penmen with a long shot taken from the point that deflects wide. It's Hope 2 for roughing at 5 minutes even. Shot sent toward the net. Deflects wide. Played behind the net, Pompaselli looking for Watson. Watson feeds it down to Pompaselli. Pompaselli gives back to Watson. They play catch. He's trying to control it on the goal line. He'll go back to the point. Gives to Fisher. Fisher with a shot toward the net, stopped by Kunin with Pompaselli standing in front. Here's Watson. Plays it from near to far. Looking for Kaiser. Gives it to Kaiser, but a great stick by Rieger and stolen away and sent all the way down the ice. So officially the goal is McMains. I said McCall originally. It was McMains because those 8s and 6s are a little hard to see in these jerseys. McMains is third of the year from Connor Murray and Baxter Kimball at 4:48. So Murray, his second point of the game. For McMains, his second point of the game. And then 12 seconds later, the Eagles took a penalty, officially roughing to Hope at 5 minutes. Just to get you all caught up to where we are. Eagles lead 4-1. Good crowd on hand for a Valentine's Saturday afternoon. Some kids dancing in the aisles. As the Eagles lead 4-1, here's Thurston spinning away, giving it down low to Phillips. Phillips goes back to the point for a shot taken that goes wide by Rufa. Puck so hard came out the other side to Vickerman. Vickerman gives to Phillips, looking for Devlin, instead ripped up the wall, but gloved by Vickerman in that 6-3 frame. Then steals it away, closing in, top of the circle. Shot hit the post. That was a pretty looking shot, just hit the tee between the corner and the top of the post and the crossbar and deflected into the netting, and Vickerman looked to the sky in frustration with 37 seconds remaining on the man advantage. The kid's got a lot of talent.
He certainly does. He's a fun player to watch. He's smart. He's got a good shot. He's got good size. Fun player to watch.
And he's going to be a pain in the butt in this conference for a couple of years. Back to the point it goes. Long shot, taken in, shot blocked in front as Rufa closed in. Not sure who got the block, but it never got to Ben. Rieger with a backhand stick, kept in nicely by Vickerman, turned it over, and Norling sent it all the way down the ice. Vickerman did a good job, keep that puck in, but just couldn't control it, and was able to get sent all the way down the ice with 15 remaining on the man advantage. Eagles lead 4-1. Goal by Bradley McMains here in the third period to give the Eagles a 4-1 lead. Lynch rimmed it up. Penmen now 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Cross-ice pass over the line, looking for McCarthy. McCarthy found it. Backhand shot taken by Watson. Stopped as McCarthy couldn't control it, but Watson picked up the loose puck and backhanded it into the Ben with 7:05 gone in the third. Still 4-1. Eagles kill it off. 0 for 2 are the Penmen on the man advantage.
Yeah, that was a really good job on the kill, and that's a tough save to make. Anything coming off the backhand, especially something like that with it wobbling like it was, that's a tough save.
Howell and Lynch on the draw, won by Lynch. Puck rimmed around, though, and here's Jacob Howell. Howell goes up the glass. Nice keep-in momentarily. Then Pekka finds it, gets it to Atkinson. Atkinson with speed over the line. Atkinson cruising in, but a nice stick by Kaiser. Got it off Atkinson's stick and chipped it away onto the half wall. Lynch gave it away to Howell. Howell cruising the slot. Takes a shot, stopped by Burke. Eagles playing hard forecheck right now as Pekka turnaround slap shot blocked and chipped up the wall and out the center. Kennedy has it. He finds his D partner in Pacheco at the moment. Looking for Howell. Howell does a good job to get a stick on it. Oh, somebody got a stick on that one as I could hear the tip. See if the officials talk about that one. And he was on the correct side of the red line when he tipped it, but Eagles not going to get that break, and the faceoff will be deep inside their zone to Ben's right with 12:18 to go in the third. 4-1 Eagles. A little bit of stick slapping on the far side of the ice between Vickerman and Pacheco. Eagles get the puck after a pass down attempt. Eagles, though, can't get it out, and then they finally do. Knee lost it, got it to Marchand. Marchand takes a hit. Pacheco will end up with the puck inside the zone. Pacheco, D to D to Kennedy. Howell wants to do something with it. He finally just dumps it down the ice. He looked like he wanted to shoot it. Looked like he wanted to pass it, and finally he just dumped it. Marchand on the far side goes up the wall, kept in by Hope. Hope took a shot toward the net, deflects wide and high. Played on the near side, rimmed around and out as O'Connell will play it back to his D partner, Hope. Eagles go right back in as Santoro dumps it in. Gazzardi will go in on the forecheck, lay a hit on Fisher. Southern New Hampshire comes up with the puck, sends it right back out, and the teams are playing a little bit of catch as it's just dumped and out. Over here for it is Swain. He'll send it behind the net to Hope. Hope chips it up the wall to Santoro. Santoro spins away from the check of Pompaselli, but then turned it over to Thurston. Gives it to Slingerland with a shot right on. Rebound the lays there for a moment as Ben can't control it, and then finally dives on top of it with Hope and Pompaselli pushing and shoving each other as Ben makes another couple of big saves. In a lot of ways, keys to success, Coach, is play decent defense and then have your goalie make some big saves.
It's a formula that's been tried and true, I'll tell you that. And, again, finding that player, when that puck starts rattling around like that, find the opponent, lift their stick, let your goaltender locate the puck. Goaltender's back there. He sees everything.
Face off to Ben's right with 11:08 to go in the third. 4-1 Eagles. Face-off won by Southern New Hampshire, rimmed around from far to near. Chasing after it is Rufa, but slapped off a stick by McMains, who's looked really good today. And solid for the 19th man. Kennedy behind his own net, spins away from the check of Slingerland, but stepped in with Pompaselli and gives it to his D partner Rieger. Rieger. Cross-ice pass into the skates of McMains. He'll send a shot in. And that was one of those great moments where 18 and 19 crossed each other and you can't see who's who with the armband. I like the jerseys, don't get me wrong.
No, I understand. I see that a lot watching games. When you watch games like on a live barn or something like that, that you just can't figure out what the manufacturer was thinking when they made that as far as it looks really good, but it's not practical.
But they are nice jerseys.
Absolutely.
Stolen away at the blue line and a little chip pass in looking for Devlin as Lacroix stole it. Instead, he passed it to Devlin. Devlin couldn't control it. And now back to the point with a long wrist shot from Dallaire. And deflected in front. That's what happens when you turn it over inside your own zone. 10:06 remaining in the third. Face off deep in the Eagles zone, but some needless defense the Eagles had to play there. So they turned it over and had a couple of opportunities to the Penmen, but nothing on Ben.
Yeah, puck management, 100% difference maker last 10 minutes of this game.
Lynch and Howell on the draw, won by Howell. Glassroot will play it behind his own net, but can't control it. That allows a forecheck of McCarthy, then turns it over to Watson. In front for a shot by Lynch that got blocked by a swarming Howell and Atkinson. And now here's Pekka. Pekka using his speed, trying to get around Allaire. He gets hooked at, no call there. He spins in the corner, leaves for Lynch. Lynch picks it up, but the Eagles come out the other side with it. Looking to go back to the point that Glassroot is Howell. Instead, he'll shoot it toward the net wide. Pacheco pinches down from his D position into that far side corner. Puck rolls free, dives at it, nobody gets it, and goes back to Glassroot at the red line. He'll gladly send it right back in. The Eagles will change everybody but Pacheco. As here's Watson. Watson gives the knee. Knee, the captain of the Penmen, gets ridden out by Pacheco. Hope gets it to Swain. Here's Scotty Swain on a little chip pass from Santoro. Swain trying to push it in. Santoro trying to push it forward. It's right there in front of the benches and the scorer's table as well. And now a nice little play to Gazzardi. Gazzardi makes a little fake move around Vickerman, gets it to Hope. Hope gets to the red line, dumps it in around the boards, takes a hit for his trouble. Swain down there forechecking. 3 Penmen and Scotty Swain, and then they try to go right up the middle dangerously and turn it over. Swain sick checking at it, but then the Penmen come away the other side. Here's Thurston up at center, over the line to Vickerman with a shot gloved by Kunin with 8:39 to go in regulation time. 4-1 Eagles.
Yeah, we're into our third 5-minute segment of our mini game here.
Absolutely, and the Eagles scored 3 goals yesterday, have 4 on the board today. They've upped their scoring over the last 6 games, and their record has shown it with 3 wins in the last 5, and this being the 6th. One-timer shot from the point that just goes wide as they were looking for the low near corner, but didn't get it. Was Aiden Rufa. Now the Eagles get it out to center. Turned it over, though, to McCarthy. McCarthy will send it right back in. That'll force Kennedy to chase after it. He's got Slingerland watching him. He goes to Rieger, gives up to Baxter Kimball. Kimball looking ahead for McMains. Turned it over. Rufa behind his own net. McMains watching. As it's now on the stick of Fotheringham. Fotheringham will wait. The freshman out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Looks up. Bad pass, but it ends up on the stick of the Penman player, and a shot by Lacroix right on. As the Eagle D overplayed that a little bit, and Lacroix ended up with it on his stick, cruising in with a little wrist shot, looking for the low near corner. With 7:51 remaining in the third, still 4-1.
Yeah, that group has to do a little better job of closer puck support, cutting the ice in half, not opening it up so wide and giving all those opportunity for all those passing lanes.
Shot from the point blocked as McCall lost the faceoff. Then Schweitzer looking for a streaking Norling. Didn't get it on his stick, but he fought hard to force it forward. Now McCall in the zone. McCall gets it across. Looking. Here's a shot by Schweitzer. Popped up in the air. Stopped by Burke. As Burke got the right pad on it, then a hand pass, I believe, behind the play will lead to a face-off deep inside the zone. Nice setup there. Schweitzer's looked good. It's only his 5th game of the season, I believe.
And again, that's a difference maker, that close support. Every time you've seen that, Post has been able to keep a puck in or forecheck very effectively. Such a little detail, but such a difference maker.
His 5th game of the season for Caden Schweitzer. He looked good today. Got his first varsity point today as well. Pekka tries to chip it in up on right wing. He falls down. Still manages to get the pass to Atkinson. He'll forecheck into the corner. Pekka gets back up. Tries to help with the forecheck. Penmen finally get it out. Here's some speed for Phillips. Phillips over the line. Holds, waits, goes across the ice. Finds Lynch, who fanned on his slap shot. More of a one-timer than anything else. And Howell and Atkinson now for the Eagles forecheck. Get the puck out. And Atkinson takes a return feed at the red line. Dump in chase time with 7 minutes to go in the third. Kaiser. As the Eagles changed everybody, gets to the red line. He'll go high in the air off the glass. Did a good job to hit the glass and not the net. Kennedy tries to come out the other side with it. Sends it up the wall. Kaiser keeps it in. Santoro trying to push it out. Lynch there as well. Lynch gets a stick. Sends it toward the net. Ben will gladly glove it with 6:39 to go in the third. Don't forget to join us on Friday afternoon, 4 p.m. puck drop. 3:45 pregame on the Post University Sports Network. Coach and I are back again to bring you all of the action. Women's game upstairs started the second period, 1-0 Stone Hill. If you're looking for an update there, you're downstairs, you're listening to us, and you want to know what's going on, 1-0 Stone Hill. Puck dumped down the ice. Swain chasing after Kaiser. Tried to go the other side. Instead, the puck rimmed around for Marchand. Marchand, who has an assist on the only Penmen goal, and sends the puck into the netting off a body with 6:21 to go in the third. Stay with us after the game. We should have a post-game show today. All of the Post-Eagle staff here gets a round of applause. Very busy day for them. Men's game here now, women's game upstairs, 2 basketball games. And if you don't like that, it's a baseball game in Florida against the number 1 team in the country for the baseball team as they play the University of Tampa. Here's Thurston with speed over the line for Pompaselli. Takes a shot. Ben can't control it and then jumps on top of it with his glove. Same sort of shot, so I don't know if there's something in the scouting that Southern New Hampshire's looking for. They keep going for that far low corner. Ben gets the glove on it, couldn't control it, then jumped on top of it before any other damage can be done. 6:10 to go in regulation, 4-1 Eagles. with a win. The Eagles will move into 4th place, though Franklin Pierce's game in hand will start in exactly 4 minutes. Tried to go forward with his Thurston. He did on the Nico Grolman type play and got a shot right on that was stopped by Ben.
Nico was very good at that.
That playoff goal I'll never forget. McMains and Kimball fighting for it in the corner. Now 5 players in there, 3 Penn men, 2 Eagles in the scrum. Murray, Kennedy, and Rieger watching as the puck comes to Rieger. Rieger sends it right back into the scrum where Kimball will leave for McMains. McMains, spinorama style, like the quad god, but unable to get to the puck, and the puck sent right back in. Although, to be fair, he didn't fall. Puck sent right up to Pompaselli for a shot that gets sticked away by Kunin as he came up on left wing with no speed and ended up taking a 50-foot wrist shot that Kunin was able to make the save on. Spinning away from the check is Phillips. Five players in this scrum right in the Zamboni door. Pacheco tries to give it to Glassrud. Glassrud just takes it away with that 6'7" frame, and then a pass into the skates of the Eagle forward and into the skates of Norling. Norling then turns it over as the play is getting a little sloppy right now. Glassrud behind his own net, watched by 2 Penn men, reversing the flow nicely to Pacheco. Pacheco looking for Norling up the wall, a little bit too far, turns it over to Simon, and they almost turn it over inside their own zone with Schweitzer forechecking on Simon. Schweitzer doing a great job of forechecking, forcing the turnover and dumping it in, and Lynch will play it. Lynch gives to Fotheringham. Fotheringham, though, makes a bad pass, turns it over in neutral ice. Pekka sends it right back in. Eagles tag up. Atkinson tried to find it, and back the other way comes Fotheringham. Fotheringham gets hit by Hope, turns the puck over to Pekka. Pekka makes a nice move around. McCarthy gets it to center himself, and now Lynch with 4:22 to go in the third. Eagles leading by 3, trying to get anything going. Gets to center and dumps it in around. Jackson Smith, first time we said his name today, freshman out of Calgary, Alberta, sends it in. Lynch gets tripped. There's going to be a penalty there, and that was one of those unintentional trips, but a penalty nonetheless with 4:06 to go in the third.
So now we'll look to see at what point does Southern New Hampshire go. Do they go right to pull the goalie now?
They have no timeout either.
You got to pull the goalie now and go 6-on-4 right now.
They have no timeout either, and that looks like what they're going to do, Coach. There's no goalie there, so 6-on-4. Hope his second penalty of the day, 2 for tripping at 15:54. Eagles lead by 3. 6 attackers for the Penn men. Face-off won by Santoro, but they can't get it out. Thurston on the wall, sends it over here for Vickerman. Vickerman looking for the one-timer. We'll see if they do the little quick pass that they did yesterday. He gets the center point. One-timer shot taken this time by Rufa. He sends it wide. Empty net for the Penn men. Eagles shorthanded. Rieger sends it down. Can't get it out as Vickerman does a good job to keep it in. Again, Gazzardi sends it all the way down.
That's a great play.
Eagles can't ice the puck because they're shorthanded. 6-on-4 right now, and they lead 4-1. Speed up the ice, but chipped away by Rieger right back to center. Rieger goes off on a line change. Thurston avoids Santoro, brings it in over the line. Gazzardi stands tall, allows Pacheco to send it out to center and all the way down. 45 seconds gone on the power play. The Penn men's third. Eagles lead 4-1. Six skaters for the Penn men. We try to give it to Lynch over the line. Glassrud will just rip it all the way down the ice. Murray will chase after it. He's right on Rufa as he forechecks him into the corner. Nice hit by Murray. Murray tried to center in front. A turnaround shot taken toward the net. That just got blocked. I'm not sure if that was Kimball, 19, wearing the second Howell jersey for some reason. Kaiser goes off Vickerman, gives to Pacheco. Pacheco can't get it out. Here's Kimball, sends it all the way down the ice, chasing after it is Murray. He's going to go into the goal. He scores! Baxter Kimball at 17:23 gets a shorthanded goal, and the Eagles, for lack of a better term, going to ice this one away as Kimball scores goal number 5 on the season. And the Eagles did an excellent job shorthanded, not really allowing any opportunities for the Penn men. 6-on-4. They had multiple clearing attempts and then almost an excuse me dump down the ice by Kimball into the goal for an unassisted goal at 17:23. Power play still on for another 30 seconds. Burke back in net. Eagles lead by 4. And then the puck sent all the way down the ice. All right, they're going to give an assist to Pacheco on that. So 2-point day for Pacheco. Puck deep inside the Eagle zone. Set out in front for a shot. Toward the net, blocked in front by McCall. And sent all the way back in the zone. 2 minutes to go in the third. Eagles 5-1 lead. So just need to play safe hockey here for another 2 minutes. Get through this game, and then we'll talk about where we are. Long pass ahead, brought in over the line, using some speed out of the Penmen, as Devlin tried to center it in front. But the frustration of the Penmen this weekend is evident, as particularly for Vickerman, who's got 2 goals. It's looked to the sky 3 or 4 other times. Long pass, looking onto the stick, and a breakaway from the blue line, and he shoots right on. Stopped by Cunine, as it was Jeremy Lacroix who took a 3-line pass and then broke in all the way as that went blue line, red line to blue line. And now right back in the other way comes the Penman again with a shot that goes wide by Thurston. He also had Lacroix breaking with 60 seconds to go. And now here's the Eagles the other way with a shot taken toward the net as Atkinson broke in on right wing with a 2-on-1 with Pekka. Now this game's just opened up ridiculous amounts. Pacheco takes a hit by Lacroix. Now a minute remaining in the third. Atkinson dumps it around. Howell plays it in the corner. They'll just be happy to keep it there. Thurston going in the forecheck. Nice stick check by Scotty Swain. Puck ripped up the wall and out, and here come the Penmen again. Here's Slingerland over the line. Carries it in. He crosses over. Tried to do something with it. Got rubbed out. Glassroot plays it behind the wall. Gives to Pacheco. Gives up to Swain, who gets it out the center with 30. Right back in is Southern New Hampshire. Gazzardi gives to Pacheco. Pacheco just rolls it around the board. Swain tried to stick check it in. Shot right on. Stopped by Cunine again. 20 seconds to go. Pacheco takes a hit from Slingerland. Eagles just pop it in the air. Gazzardi takes a stick check out. Rufus steals it. Sends it back towards Slingerland. Slingerland sends it into the zone with 10 seconds left, and the Eagles are going to win this game. They have a 5-1 lead, and the most goals they've scored in a game in a win since the season opener against Western Connecticut. And a huge 6-point weekend for the Eagles, coach. They get 2 wins, 3-1 yesterday, 5-1 today. Ben gives up 2 goals the whole weekend, both to Zach Vickerman. And the Eagles have done what we didn't necessarily think was possible maybe a couple weeks ago. They're in 4th place.
Yeah, but easily the most dominant performance in a weekend that we've seen the Eagles play all season.
In a long time as well.
Yeah.
So the Eagles, with the victory, move to 7-17-1, 6-11-1 in the NE10. They now have 22 points, 1 more than Franklin Pierce. So Franklin Pierce's game in hand has just started. We'll see if we can get you an update on that. Southern New Hampshire goes to 8-15-1 overall, 4-13-1 in the NE10. We'll see about who we're going to get up here. But, Coach, your 3 stars, which are brought to you by Post University. Post asks you, are you a Post person?
Yeah, my first star, Post defense got it started with the goals in this game. And with the game-winning goal, as well as after 2 periods, 7 shots on goal, potentially up to 10 for the entire game. My first star is Ian Rieger. I go with Ian for the first star. My second star, I go to a senior leader who had a goal, had an assist. Connor Murray gets my second star. And my third star, as I watch, and it's not always a player that necessarily scores a goal, but I thought that Caden Schweitzer played a really good game. He had an assist for his first point. I thought he played a pretty responsible, good overall game, so I give him my third star.
I would agree with all of that. What's hilarious is we picked none of the 3 players to come up here for the interview today. So, excellent job, though, for the 3 stars. And listen, you could give it to anybody on the team, to be honest with you today, Coach. Across the board.
It's a team victory.
Across the board, everybody did a great job. Again, you can really look to the little things that the Eagles did today across the board. Wait to see who amongst the group we asked for to come up. But everybody we asked for had an excellent game today as well.
Yeah, there's no question.
But, yeah, I can't remember. It's been a while when the Eagles have swept the weekend. I don't even remember them doing it last year. So
sweeping a weekend and doing it in that fashion.
Yes. So humongous weekend for them, and
right. With the as vaunted as that power play was for Southern New Hampshire this season, they just took that away. I mean, that's a major tool that they've been using all season to get their victories, and they had no answer for Post's penalty kill.
Final score 5-1. Let's get you the shots on goal in the third period. If I can move my paper over. Eagles with 10 in the third for a 3-period total of 43. Southern New Hampshire 14, a 3-period total of 38. Each team 0 for 3 on the power play. Faceoffs got a lot more dominant for Southern New Hampshire. In the third period, it was 17-7, 41-30 overall. But the Eagles blocked 11 more shots as well. So overall, again, outside of faceoffs, they really did play well top to bottom across the board.
Yes, absolutely.
A couple of updates while we await our players. Up at Franklin Pierce is 0-0 right now. That game just underway. Up at St. Mike's. Only a minute into that game, so they haven't given up a goal yet. That's encouraging for them. Women's game midway through the second period, 1-0 Stonehill upstairs against Post, looking to get some goals on their own. But a 5-goal output for the Eagles today, Coach. And it started, in that first 10-minute swing where we talked about we talked about in the post game yesterday. We talked about with the players, and we talked about offline both before the game and last night how the first 10 minutes were going to go. And the Eagles scored 2 goals in that first 10 minutes. They get one from Matt Pacheco at 6:39. He found a rebound from Connor McCowell, and then Owen Rieger. His 6th of the year from Kennedy and Schweitzer, his first point at 9:51, and the Eagles were off and running 2-0.
Yeah, and once you begin to win, how you win matters. Like, there are games where you win sort of despite what you did, but you still find a way to win the game. This was a game and yesterday is the same game as today. The way Post played is the reason that they won, which sounds obvious, but I'm talking about all the little details, the winning the one-on-one battles in the wall, the support in the defensive zone, the attack in the offensive zone with good support, making good plays. Really, all these goals were really good hockey plays, and that's what's really encouraging. Sometimes you just throwing pucks at the net, but these were really good hockey plays, set up very well, found shooting lanes. So how you win matters. So that's what's really encouraging as we get moving forward here with 2 games left in the season and then playoffs. So you're playing your best hockey as a program right now, because I think they lost once in their last 4 now.
4 out of 6.
Okay, 4 out of 6. So you're playing your best hockey of the season right now.
Actually, I think it was an overtime loss, so technically 4-1-1.
Okay. So you're playing your best hockey of the season, and it's exactly where you want to be set up as the playoffs come. Yeah,
and think about it too, Coach. 22 points in conference. They had 9 3 weeks ago, so they've more than doubled their point total. Now sitting in 4th place. Outside ridiculous shot at getting into the 3 seed, but a lot has to happen still, but
sure.
That's a possibility. They control their own destiny there at the moment, but St. A's has a game in hand first. We'll see how that plays out, but a lot of things still up in the air. The only thing we know for sure now is Southern New Hampshire will finish last, and Assumption will finish first.
Right.
Everything else is still up for grabs. 2nd and 3rd are tied right now. The Eagles have a 1-point lead over Franklin Pierce in the conference standings, and there could be some jumbling up as we get a little closer.
Yeah, there really could be. Both teams, I think Franklin Pierce has St. Mike's.
St. Mike's today, and then they're at Assumption.
Yeah, that's right, Assumption for their last 2, which is not an easy get, right? And again, with the history that Post has with St. Anselm's, that's not an easy get either. So, like you said, there's a lot that could happen with that movement in the next week. So many combinations, right?
Yeah, depending on how today ends up, the Eagles now can control their own destiny for 4th. At the moment, they do. Franklin Pierce's game still needs to complete, so we'll see where they are.
Yes.
I'd be remiss amongst all of this, even though we're not going to bring him up as a interview and wasn't mentioned as a star, but 37 saves for Gentle Ben Cunine again. who just continues to do it, and has to be. And I understand that the goaltender for Assumption is going to get a lot of votes here, but there's no goaltender in my mind better than Ben Kunin in this conference. 5 shutouts and then 2 more wins by.
Ben just plays such an easy, to use that term, easy, controlled type of game. And I think that's where some of the saves and some of the things he does, I think that's where they get lost in the impact that he actually does have. And again, you expect him to have a certain measure. He's got a standard that he set for himself, and he meets it every game.
Multiple point players for the Eagles today. Kennedy, 2 assists. Pacheco, a goal and an assist. McMain's a goal and an assist. Kimball, a goal and an assist. And Connor Murray, a goal and an assist. So 5 multi-point players for the Eagles today. What's somewhat hilarious is outside of Rieger, nobody had a point yesterday. So really a team effort this weekend. That says a lot about the team effort this weekend. Everybody who scored yesterday didn't really score today.
Yeah, and when you get that kind of balance scoring, again, you got to feel good about that as a coach as well.
All right, here comes our first player who I don't think realized he can't wear his skates.
Yeah. And we are accepting donations for ink for the printer.
Yes, then I get to go find out if I won anything in the raffle after.
There you go.
But our first guest, Bradley McMains, I don't think recognized that he can't wear his skates up here, so now he's headed back. We'll see him come back. And it's good to get Bradley up here, sophomore out of South Portland, Maine. He's up to 6 points, I believe, on the season overall. Let me just double-check that. Yep, up to 6 points, 3 goals, 3 assists. He's only played 15 games. He's going to be a plus player after today. That's another thing, too, Coach. We talked about a couple weeks ago. The Eagles had 1 plus player. They had 5 coming into the game today, and probably now, after today's performance, might be able to add another 1 or 2 all in. So moving, again, in that direction also helps when you score goals. That gets you more pluses than minuses.
Sure, it does. And then that is just one of those, again, you look at the numbers, old saying, numbers don't lie. That's just an indicator of your success is what that is when you look at that and you see where you stand in your plus-minus rating.
All right, so we are hoping for the following 3 players: Matt Pacheco, Aiden Kennedy, and Bradley McMains. Those are the 3 we were looking for. None of whom were chosen as the 3 stars by Coach, but I texted those names before Coach made his choices.
We can only do 1 interview because
okay. We can only do 1, so give me McMains because he's coming this way. All right, we'll do McMains. We'll take him. I got you. Then we will do 1. Not a problem. Okay. Yeah, you guys are my producers. You tell me where you want them. Come on up, son. Yeah, bring that over that way. Yeah. You make it? Yeah, take that. Put those on. So that way you can hear me talk.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
I got to get it set up. You let me know? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With Bradley McMain's goal and an assist today. Bradley, talk to me about your goal first of all.
Yeah, just, was driving through the middle, and Murray made a good pass to me right to the middle, got around their D, and just snapped it under the blocker.
We joke that you were listed as the 19th player today, but you came up big with a goal and an assist yourself. What are you guys seeing out there as a team overall? This is one of the better weekends we've seen out of you guys in a while. 2 wins, obviously. What sort of changed over the last couple of weeks?
We're just staying to our identity. We're working hard, sticking together, and staying committed to the process.
6 big points, currently in 4th place, which means you might get a home game out of the playoffs, but you still got 2 games to go. So what do you do between now and your games next week to get yourself ready for those big games against St. A's here first Friday?
Just, empty the tank in those last 2 games before the playoffs, big 6 points in those ones.
Talk to me about your goaltender who continues to shine on a day-in, day-out basis. We joked 5 wins, 5 shutouts. Now 2 games in a row where you gave up a goal, but you guys win. Talk to me about Benny.
It's just us coming together, burying pucks in the net, helping them out. We can't win every game with a shutout, so got to help them out.
Good job on the forecheck by you guys today. What's the story on the forecheck for you guys? What's sort of the mantra of how you guys get down there and really are just working against like a team like Southern New Hampshire?
We just need to get when we get it deep, we just need to work on getting first touch. When we get first touch, we're not beatable. They can't beat us. There
we go. Big Eagle win today, 5-1. Bradley McMahon's a goal and an assist, one of our stars today. Don't forget to join us on Friday. We'll be live, 3:45 pregame, 4 p.m. puck drop as the Eagles will take St. A's on. Currently in 4th place, 22 points in the NE10. For Bradley, Coach, and everybody else who's helping out, who's got a lot of work to do today with the women's game upstairs and 2 basketball games. I'm Jeff Nelson. We'll see you next week. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Great job.